Chapter 2149. What's going on? The heavenly demon young master and the saint of samsara exclaimed in shock. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. They had thought that Demon Saint Nine's son would be able to kill Ling Xiao with the power of the Demon Saint's holy city and the great formation of Zhou Tian. However, they did not expect Demon Saint Nine's son to be severely injured by Ling Xiao before he could even unleash the power of the formation. The great formation of Zhou Tian has been sealed by some kind of power. Damn it! Who's behind this? The heavenly demon young master's eyes shone with a mysterious light that seemed to be able to see through the void. He shuddered as if he had seen something wrong. What? The great formation of Zhou Tian has been imbued with the power of the way of the heavens. Even a supreme saint would have a hard time shaking it. Who could seal the great formation of Zhou Tian? The saint of samsara was also completely shocked. The heavenly demon young master suddenly glanced at Elder Mu-In, who was standing at the side. He suddenly thought of something and could not help but sneer. I know who it is. Young Master-in. I didn't expect him to send Mu-In here as a feint. He dares to seal the great formation of Zhou Tian himself? Does he really think the great formation of Zhou Tian is that easy to seal? Young Master-in? I don't think he has the power to seal the great formation of Zhou Tian, right? The saint of samsara said uncertainly. He had heard of young Master-in's reputation. He was no weaker than the heavenly demon young master in the demon realm. He was on par with the prodigies of the 5 mythical beast clans, and was known as the seed of the demon realm. His strength was extremely terrifying. However, young Master-in had yet to become a supreme saint. With his strength of the 3rd stage of heaven treading, it was impossible for him to seal the great formation of Zhou Tian. He doesn't have the power to seal the great formation of Zhou Tian, but we can't rule out the possibility that he has other treasures or secret techniques. No matter what, he must have a special relationship with Long Outyin. He wants to save Long Outyin, but I can't let him have his way. Let's attack him together and kill Long Outyin. He will definitely suffer the backlash of the great formation of Zhou Tian. The heavenly demon young master said with a cold smile. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Good. I have long disliked Long Outyin. The flipping sky seal in his hand is not simple. He also has the battle heavenly merit. If we can force him to tell us, our strength will increase greatly. The saint son of samsara said coldly. Then what are we waiting for? Kill. The heavenly demon young master said coldly as he charged towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. The demonic aura around the heavenly demon young master rose, and his eyes were as cold as steel. The 10,000 demon sword pot shone brightly and beams of sword light shot out from it. In an instant, they condensed into a 10,000-foot-long sword force in the void. It was so mighty that it seemed to be able to split the heavens and earth apart. The heavenly demon young master's aura was incomparably sharp. It was as if he had mastered the unparalleled sword Tao, and could unleash unparalleled power with a casual wave of his hand. A 10,000-meter-long sword energy slashed down toward Ling Xiao. At the same time, the saint son of samsara also made his move. Flames rose from his left hand, forming a blazing sun. His right hand was suffused with yin energy, forming a mysterious moon. The sun and moon intertwined, growing and multiplying endlessly, forming a vast divine light of reincarnation that shot towards Ling Xiao. The heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara attacked decisively and fiercely. No one had expected them to suddenly attack at this moment. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had intended to kill the 9-sun demon saint in one go, but did not expect the heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara to attack him. Long Outyin, prepare to die. No one can save you today. The heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara sneered. The murderous intent in their eyes was almost tangible. With just the two of you? Ling Xiao said coldly. The blazing blood aura around him rose and a dragon's roar erupted. It was as if it could tear apart the heavens and make his aura even more terrifying. It was as if it had reached its limit. Rumble. Ling Xiao used the battle heavenly skill, and the 4 imperial weapon seals above his head floated. In an instant, he charged toward the heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara. The 4 imperial weapon seals floated above his head and enveloped Ling Xiao in blazing divine light. It was as if he was invincible, and every move he made was imbued with unfathomable heavenly might. Crack. Ling Xiao raised his arm and struck out with his palm. The 7 kills saber above his head shone with boundless light and a murderous aura. It collided with the 10,000 feet long sword aura. Flames rose in his palm, and the Yen Emperor cauldron unleashed unparalleled divine power. Endless divine light rose from the mouth of the cauldron, exuding a powerful devouring power. It shattered the divine light of reincarnation with a bang, and then completely devoured it. Ling Xiao used the power of the battle heavenly skill, and his aura soared to the sky. At the same time, he fought the heavenly demon young master, and the saint son of Samsara, and was not at a disadvantage at all. Damn it! Who is interfering? How dare you interrupt the power of my Zhoutian stellar formation? I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Demon Saint Nine's son was completely deranged. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. The massive heavenly cycle stellar array was his strongest power. It gave him the power to suppress everything. But now this power had been sealed by someone. Although he didn't know who it was, Demon Saint Nine's son was terrified. Long Outyin, this is all because of you. I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Demon Saint Nine's son glared at Ling Xiao with hatred. In an instant, a terrifying aura rose from his body and he let out an earth-shattering roar. Roar. It was like a ferocious beast from ancient times roaring. It was ancient and mysterious, causing people's hearts to palpitate. Demon Saint Nine's son's body shone with boundless demonic light. In an instant, his blood chi surged and he turned into a huge ferocious beast. It looked like a cross between a bull and a tiger. It had a pair of wings on its back and hideous scales all over its body. It had a huge horn on its head and a pair of blood-red eyes that were like blood moons. When it looked at people, they would tremble and feel as though they were frozen. The ancient ferocious beast, Qiongqi, was born. Oh no, these guys are too shameless. How dare they attack Ling Xiao? Kill them. The white dragon horse snorted coldly with its bell-like eyes. Kill. Shuiwei and Feng Qingyang's eyes turned cold as they charged forward with the white dragon horse. They wanted to share some of the pressure with Ling Xiao. However, the enforcers under Demon Saint Nine's son were already prepared. They blocked the 3 of them with murderous aura. An extremely intense battle immediately broke out. Although the white dragon horse, Shuiwei, and Feng Qingyang were extremely anxious, they could not escape from dozens of enforcers in a short time. They could only fight with all their might. With my blood essence, I summon Gu Wanling. Demon ancestor above, burn the sky and refine the sky. Kill. 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 Chapter 2150. Rumble. In the void, 9 sun demon saints' flesh and blood splattered everywhere. Endless blood-red light filled the air and chaotic gas exploded. 9 blood-red suns appeared in the void. Streaks of blood-red flames filled the air and caused the void to distort violently. The 9 blood-red suns instantly pierced through the chaos and appeared around Ling Xiao, completely enveloping him. Even the 4 emperor weapon inscriptions were unable to do anything to the 9 blood-red suns. Instead, they were ignited by the blood-red flames. Ling Xiao's boiling blood was like adding fuel to the fire. When the blood-red flames touched him, he was instantly set ablaze. 9 Sun Blood Spirit Emperor Technique. The heavenly demon young master's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with extreme fear. The 9 Suns Blood Spirit Emperor Technique was an extremely evil emperor technique. Although it was incomplete, its power was incomparably terrifying. The blood spirit flame formed from one's own flesh and blood could incinerate all life. No treasure could resist the burning of this flame. In the end, one would scream and die. The heavenly demon young master did not expect 9 Sun Demon Saint to hate Ling Xiao to this extent. He even used the 9 Sun Blood Spirit Emperor technique to completely burn Ling Xiao into ashes. Help 9 Sun Demon Saint to burn Long Outyin to death. The heavenly demon young master's eyes revealed a trace of cruelty as he looked at the Samsara saint. Rumble. Boundless vital energy and blood surged around him, flying towards the 9 blood-red suns with a boom. The 9 blood-red suns became even more dazzling, enveloping the entire sky. The Samsara saint also activated the blood and chi in his body to strengthen the power of the 9 blood-red suns. They completely engulfed Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's aura was getting weaker and weaker. He was like a candle flame in the wind, about to be extinguished at any time. Oh no. Brother Ling Xiao, hang in there. I'm coming to save you. Shui Wei's face instantly turned pale. Her eyes were filled with anxiety as she shouted. A terrifying aura burst out from her body. Rumble. Rings of divine light of samsara erupted from her body, as if they contained endless power of life and death, causing the enforcers who were charging towards her to tremble violently as if they had been struck by lightning. They were all sent flying backwards. Shui Wei's red dress and black hair fluttered in the wind. She wielded the ancient samsara sword and forcefully carved out a bloody path. She wanted to save Ling Xiao. The white dragon horse and Feng Qingyang had also gone completely mad. Their killing intent soared to the sky. They instantly killed several law enforcers and directly soared into the sky. They wanted to fly towards Ling Xiao, which was shrouded by the 9 suns. The 3 of you, please wait. Young Master Ling Xiao is fine. If you attack now, I'm afraid he'll miss a great opportunity. Suddenly, an aged voice entered Shui Wei, the white dragon horse, and Feng Qingyang's sea of consciousness. What do you mean? Shui Wei and the others stopped at the same time. Their gazes landed on Mu En in the distance because it was Mu En who had transmitted the message to them. Look carefully. Young Master Ling Xiao's strength is extraordinary. Although the 9 Suns Blood Spirit Emperor technique is powerful, it shouldn't be able to do anything to him. I think he's trying to break the limit with the help of the 9 Suns Blood Spirit Emperor technique. Mu En's eyes revealed a trace of wisdom as he spoke slowly. Break the limit. Shui Wei and the other 2 exchanged glances. Their eyes were filled with surprise and joy. What did it mean to break the limit? It meant that Ling Xiao was about to enter the heaven-treading 3 realms and become a supreme expert. He had the hope of competing with the countless monstrous geniuses in the heavens, and even seize the supreme position of the heaven's chosen child. As if to prove Mu En's words, Ling Xiao, who was shrouded by the 9 blood-colored suns, was already very weak. His voice was so weak that it seemed like he would disappear at any time. However, suddenly, divine light filled the sky as heaven and earth shook violently. An incomparably terrifying aura suddenly erupted. It was as if an ancient almighty had awakened from a deep slumber. That terrifying aura made everyone's heart tremble. What's happening? Everyone exclaimed as their eyes fell on the center of the 9 blood-colored suns. 9 Sun Demon Saint, the heavenly demon young master, and the reincarnation saint's hearts pounded wildly as if they had a bad premonition. They all unleashed their terrifying blood and poured it into the 9 blood-colored suns. But it was too late. Boom. As if the chaos had exploded, the blood-colored divine light that filled the sky suddenly shattered. The 9 blood-colored suns directly collapsed from the inside, forming a terrifying blood-colored storm that swept out in all directions. Vaguely, a figure appeared in the endless blood-colored storm. He sat cross-legged in the endless chaos, and exuded an extremely powerful devouring power that devoured all the blood-colored energy. Damn it! He broke the limit with the help of the 9 Sun Blood Spirit Emperor technique. The heavenly demon young master's face instantly darkened as his eyes were filled with horror. He originally thought that Ling Xiao would die in the 9 Sun Blood Spirit Emperor technique. Who would have thought that not only did Ling Xiao not die, but he also broke the limit and advanced to the 3rd level of heaven treading. That's right, that figure was Ling Xiao. Rumble. Ling Xiao stood up in the void, exuding a mysterious and vast aura. A great Tao immortal flower appeared above his head. Endless immortal light was enshrouding it, mysterious and dazzling. One could vaguely see a small golden figure sitting cross-legged in the middle of the flower. Its face was extremely similar to Ling Xiao's. After breaking the limit and condensing the human sovereign, Ling Xiao was already standing above the 3rd level of heaven treading. How did he do it? The reincarnation saint's face was extremely ugly. He couldn't figure out how everything had happened. The most depressed person was Demon Saint 9 Sunday. In order to perform the 9 Sun Blood Spirit Monarch technique, he had not hesitated to burn more than half of his flesh and blood essence, which consumed more than half of his strength. In the end, not only did he fail to kill Ling Xiao, but he also helped Ling Xiao break through his limits and advance to the heaven-treading 3 realms. Nine Sun Demon Saint was so depressed that he was about to vomit blood. His eyes were filled with unwillingness. Crack! But at this moment, endless lightning intertwined in the void above, and a terrifying destructive force descended. It was as if the heavenly Tao was thoroughly enraged, manifesting an unparalleled heavenly punishment force, completely locking Ling Xiao in place. Chapter 2151. Is this divine punishment? Someone exclaimed in surprise. Such a terrifying thunderbolt was purely destructive. It did not have the slightest bit of vitality. It contained a vast power of the Great Path, and it wanted to kill Ling Xiao directly. This was no ordinary lightning tribulation. It was divine punishment. Breaking the limit and entering the 3 levels of heaven treading shouldn't trigger divine punishment in the chaotic ancient land. Why would Long Outyin trigger divine punishment when he entered the 3 levels of heaven treading? Everyone's hearts were filled with doubt. Divine punishment? Ha. This is the heavenly punishment. Long Outyin, what did you do to anger the heavens? Why would the heavenly Tao not hesitate to send down the heavenly punishment? I don't think you can become the chosen one. You're more likely to be the abandoned one. The heavenly demon young lord was overjoyed. His eyes were filled with delight and mockery. Breaking the limit and entering the 3 levels of heaven treading would trigger divine punishment. Although the heavenly demon young lord didn't know the reason, he knew that Ling Xiao was no longer destined to be the chosen one. The chosen one was chosen by the heavenly path. They were blessed by the heavenly path and possessed great luck. Therefore, it was impossible for them to trigger divine punishment. From the looks of it, Ling Xiao might really be the one abandoned by the heavens. The abandoned one? Long Outyin is doomed. I think his combat strength is extraordinary and his talent is unparalleled. I think he has the strength to compete with the heavens' chosen one. It's a pity that he's not destined to be the chosen one. Someone gloated. What a pity for his talent. What's there to pity? Let's talk about it after he survives divine punishment. That's right. He'll definitely die under divine punishment. Not to mention, there are 3 supreme experts watching him. Everyone was discussing. Most of them didn't think Ling Xiao would win. Divine punishment? Feng Qingyang had a strange look in his eyes. If it was before, he might be worried about Ling Xiao's safety. However, when he thought about how Ling Xiao had obtained the divine punishment secret technique in the Thunder Tribulation Sea, he wasn't worried at all. The divine punishment secret technique contained the power of divine punishment. It was the #1 lightning path superpower in the world. Ling Xiao had the divine punishment secret technique, so it wouldn't be difficult for him to neutralize the divine punishment. Ling Xiao's brows also furrowed slightly. He also didn't understand why breaking the limit and advancing to the 3rd level of heaven treading would attract heavenly punishment. In the 9 Yang Blood Spirit Emperor art, Ling Xiao's flesh and blood had almost been burned away, leaving only a skeleton behind. However, Ling Xiao had also comprehended the origin of power, and directly broke through his own limits to reach the heaven-treading realm. It felt as if he had jumped out of the shackles of the world, and stood above the heavenly Tao. It gave him a very strange perspective, as if he could observe the reincarnation of the world and comprehend the life and death of all living things. It was a very strange feeling. Unfortunately, that state was still too short, and Ling Xiao broke through almost instantly. Now that the heavenly punishment had descended, Ling Xiao felt somewhat baffled, unable to make sense of it. Rumble. Endless lightning bolts rose, and the black ominous aura filled the air. Ling Xiao was completely locked in place. Endless lightning bolts gathered and descended from the 9 heavens, striking directly at Ling Xiao. Even Ling Xiao could feel the destructive power contained within that bolt of lightning. It wanted to completely obliterate the life in his body. I'd like to see how strong this so-called heavenly punishment is. A cold light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes, revealing a strong fighting spirit. Blazing divine light rose around his body, and a punch rushed into the sky. Crack! The void trembled as Ling Xiao collided with the black lightning bolt. Immediately, he felt his body tremble violently, and was struck down from the sky by the lightning bolt. The lightning bolts fell from the sky, not giving Ling Xiao the slightest chance to react. They enveloped his entire body, intertwining with the aura of destruction. The great Tao Law descended, wanting to completely obliterate all vitality. Rumble. Ling Xiao could feel that the lightning bolts were formed by the pure great Tao Law. Its power was incomparably terrifying, making him feel extremely pressured. Ling Xiao's fists were like dragons as he fought with all his might. Every strike had the power to destroy heaven and earth. He used the Heavenly Emperor's fist, unleashing his maximum combat strength, shattering the lightning bolts one after another. However, the lightning bolts still drilled into Ling Xiao's body, wreaking havoc in his body, destroying the vitality of his physical body, and spreading into the depths of his primordial spirit. Heavenly punishment was the power of the heavenly Tao's wrath. It was extremely terrifying, and the more one resisted, the stronger the power. Even a true saint could not resist the power of heavenly punishment. Soon, Ling Xiao was enveloped by the lightning bolts. So what if you've reached the third level of heaven treading? In the end, you'll still die under heavenly punishment. The Sun Forsaken, you really live up to your name. The saint son of Samsara's eyes were full of mockery. It's too easy for him to die just like that. The demon saint of Nine Sun said coldly, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. Is that so? Then come and have a taste of heavenly punishment's power. Suddenly, a calm voice entered the ears of the heavenly demon young lord, the saint son of Samsara, and the demon saint of Nine Sun, causing them to tremble. Rumble. Ling Xiao suddenly soared into the sky amidst the black lightning bolts that filled the sky. Bathed in the lightning bolts, he charged toward the three of them. The lightning bolts around him blazed as if there were black lightning dragons coiling around him. They possessed the power to destroy heaven and earth, and they could tear everything apart. They roared as they charged toward the three of them. What? An aura that made their scalps tingle came crashing toward them. The three demon saint of Nine Suns' expression changed drastically when they sensed the aura of heavenly punishment approaching. They did not even think twice before retreating rapidly. However, Ling Xiao was even faster. He used a secret teleportation technique, and his entire body was wrapped in lightning bolts as he came crashing down, enveloping the three demon saint of Nine Suns group within it. Crack. The terrifying bolts of lightning seemed to have sensed the powerful auras of the three demon saint of Nine Suns group. The power of heavenly punishment became even more terrifying, as if it was going to destroy this entire world. A bolt of black lightning bore the brunt of the attack, and pierced through the chest of the demon saint of Nine Sunday. Blood gushed out of the wound, and his vitality dissipated. The demon saint of Nine Suns' body shook violently, and he coughed out blood as he was sent flying. The vast might of heavenly punishment descended, and bolts of lightning intertwined. The incomparably chaotic power shattered the powerful protective barriers around the heavenly demon young lord and the saint son of Samsara. Their flesh was lacerated, and they coughed out blood incessantly. Damn it! Why isn't he affected by heavenly punishment? The heavenly demon young lord roared angrily, his eyes filled with shock and anger. Chapter 2152. Ling Xiao's aura surged as the great Tao divine flower floated above his head. His aura was extremely mysterious as he bathed in lightning. However, he was not affected by the heavenly punishment at all. The blazing lightning struck his body, forming a mysterious cycle that caused his body to tremble slightly. It was as though he had turned into a part of the lightning tribulation. He looked extremely mysterious. The heavenly demon young master trembled. He could not believe what he was seeing. Ling Xiao was the one who had triggered the heavenly punishment. Now that he was attacking the three of them so brazenly, he should have triggered an even more terrifying heavenly punishment. However, the heavenly demon young master was both shocked and furious. Die demon Saint Nine Sun. Ling Xiao's eyes were burning with murderous intent as he threw a punch at demon Saint Nine Sun. Boom. The terrifying punch carried a sky full of lightning as though it could shatter this part of the world. It contained an endless amount of murderous intent, and added to its ferocious aura. Muan had just sent a voice transmission to Ling Xiao, informing him that the old goat was suppressing the Zhou Tian star array, and asking him to kill demon Saint Nine Sun as soon as possible. Ling Xiao was surprised and overjoyed. He was extremely excited. He did not expect the old goat to be in the demon race's holy city. After hearing Muan's words, Ling Xiao was worried about the old goat's situation. Naturally, he had an endless amount of murderous intent towards Demon Saint Nine's son, and locked onto him. Ling Xiao used the Heavenly Punishment secret skill. It was as though he had turned into a part of the Heavenly Tao. His aura was terrifying and every strike had the power to destroy the world. Long Outyin, you will die a horrible death. Demon Saint Nine's son's eyes were about to spit fire. He felt extremely aggrieved as he roared furiously while dodging the attacks. However, Ling Xiao had already locked onto him. In addition, Demon Saint Nine's son had already paid a huge price when he used the Nine Sun Blood Spirit Emperor technique. There was no way he could escape from the heavenly punishment. Crack! The terrifying punch landed. Demon Saint Nine's son wanted to block it, but his arms felt as though they had been struck by lightning. With a crisp sound, they were broken by Ling Xiao. Demon Sage Nine's son staggered backward. Demonic light rose from his body as he tried to dodge Ling Xiao's storm-like attacks. However, the lightning bolts that filled the sky fell and penetrated his defenses. His body trembled violently as he coughed out blood. The heavenly demon young master and reincarnation's saint son no longer dared to continue fighting Ling Xiao. While Ling Xiao was chasing after Demon Sage Nine's son, they quickly escaped from the area enveloped by heavenly punishment. Boom! Ling Xiao punched out, and the blazing lightning gathered together to form an unparalleled heavenly punishment fist. It landed on Demon Saint Nine's son's chest, causing his body to shake violently. Blood spurted out of his mouth, and a huge bloody hole appeared on his chest. Nine's son Demon Sage was sent flying backwards. It was unknown how many of his ribs were broken. He fell from the sky and smashed into the ground, creating a huge crater in the ground. Ah! Demon Sage Nine's son roared. Blood chi filled his body, and his eyes were filled with rage. He used a supreme secret technique, and the injuries on his body began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. You'd better die. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with murderous intent. He slammed his palm down, and the flipping sky seal shone brightly. Vast lightning bolts poured into the flipping sky seal, making it look like an ancient lightning mountain. It came crashing down with a loud rumble. Crack! Heaven and earth trembled, and the surrounding void shattered. Demon Sage Nine's son's eyes were filled with despair. However, he could not escape from the suppression of the flipping sky seal. He could only watch as the flipping sky seal came crashing down on him. Poof! Demon Sage Nine's son exploded into a bloody mist. The demonic light around him dissipated, and even his primordial spirit was smashed into dust by the flipping sky seal. It could be said that his soul had been completely destroyed. This scene shocked everyone. Demon Sage Nine's son died in Long Outyin's hands just like that. Everyone's eyes widened in shock. Everyone was trembling. They could not believe what they had just seen. It was as if they were in a dream. Who was Demon Sage Nine's son? He was the undisputed ruler of the Monster Saint City. He had the power to decide life and death. Even the young master of the heavenly monster race, and countless other supreme talents had to bow down to him. However, he had died in Ling Xiao's hands just like that. Even his primordial spirit had been smashed into dust. Long Outyin, how did he do it? Could it be that even heaven's punishment can't do anything to him? He's not tolerated by the heavenly Tao, but he has such terrifying combat strength. I seem to be witnessing the birth of a peerless, ruthless person. Even if he doesn't become the chosen one, there will be a place for him in the future era. Everyone looked at Ling Xiao with awe and respect. The scene was dead silent. Everyone stared blankly at Ling Xiao, who was in the void. Ling Xiao was bathed in endless lightning as he strolled over. The aura around him was mysterious and unpredictable. He was like an ancient great emperor, who controlled heaven's punishment. He had the supreme power to destroy the world. You actually mastered the secret skill of heaven's punishment. No wonder even heaven's punishment can't do anything to you. Long Outyin, you actually dared to kill Demon Saint Nine's Sunday. You're dead meat. Just wait to be hunted down by the world. The young master of the heavenly monster race glared at Ling Xiao. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, as though he was looking at a dead man. Is that so? However, I'm certain that the two of you will die before me, Ling Xiao said indifferently. His voice was incomparably calm. Boom. He took a step forward and the sky was filled with lightning. Like a roaring thunder dragon, he charged towards the young master of the heavenly monster race and the saint of samsara. Demon Saint Nine's son had already died in Ling Xiao's hands. Ling Xiao had no intention of letting the two of them go. He controlled heaven's punishment with his secret skill of heaven's punishment, causing his strength to skyrocket. Even the young master of the heavenly monster race and the saint of samsara's expressions changed drastically. Without hesitation, they turned and fled. They wanted to leave the monster saint city. Whoosh. However, Ling Xiao used the secret skill of heaven and earth. His speed was extremely fast. It was as though only Ling Xiao's figure was left in the void. Every strike of his could destroy the world and tear the void apart. Ling Xiao's speed was extremely fast. Bolts of lightning fell from the sky like intertwining divine chains. They contained vast Tao principles. The young master of the heavenly monster race and the saint of samsara felt their scalps tingle as they dodged in all directions. Chapter 2153. Rumble. Although the enforcers weren't weak, how could they possibly withstand such a tyrannical heavenly punishment? They were all torn apart by the blazing thunderbolts, turning into a blood mist and disappearing into the void. Ling Xiao was like a peerless god of war who had slaughtered thousands of soldiers. His fighting spirit was soaring and his strength was terrifying. He did not even frown as he killed countless experts. Long Outyin, I will remember you. The next time we meet, it will be your death date. The heavenly demon young master's eyes were filled with hatred as he glared at Ling Xiao. Then a blazing light burst out from his palm, and an emperor's decree appeared in the void. Boom. It was a black emperor's decree. It slowly unfolded in the void like a vast and mysterious vortex. It swept up the heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara, and was about to leave the demon clan's saint city. The emperor's decree? Break it. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he roared. The flipping sky seal, which was wrapped in the vast divine punishment, pressed down on the emperor's decree. Crack. The void trembled violently. The emperor's decree was majestic and mysterious, containing the power of the emperor's aura. The flipping sky seal also emitted a vast amount of emperor's aura. When it collided with the emperor's decree, the void was torn apart. The chaotic turbulence was turbulent, and the divine light was dazzling. The black hole trembled violently as if it would collapse at any time. Come out! A thunderbolt palm suddenly appeared in the flipping sky seal. It grabbed at the black hole and pulled out a figure who was struggling violently. The Thunder Spirit King acted at the critical moment. His speed was so fast that even the heavenly demon young master and the saint son of samsara could not react in time. Swoosh. The emperor's decree emitted boundless light and broke apart the flipping sky seal. Then it wrapped the heavenly demon young master and disappeared into the void. The figure that was pulled out by the Thunder Spirit King was the saint son of samsara. Buzz. The flipping sky seal floated above the saint son of samsara's head. Bolts of lightning fell like chains and intertwined around the saint son of samsara, forming a prison that trapped him. The saint of samsara trembled when he saw the cold looks on Ling Xiao and the others' faces. He could not hide the fear in his eyes. The saint son of samsara couldn't help but tremble in despair at the thought of what would happen next. Rumble. Ling Xiao used the heavenly punishment secret technique and swallowed up all the lightning in the sky. Immediately, the dark clouds in the sky dissipated, and the world regained its brightness. At this moment, everyone was looking at Ling Xiao with reverence in their eyes. This was Ling Xiao. He had killed Demon Saint Nine's son, captured the Saint of Samsara alive, and forced the heavenly demon young lord to flee. His strength was terrifying to the extreme. I knew that Ling Xiao would definitely be able to utterly crush these bastards. The white dragon horse laughed heartily. Young master is always the best. Shui Wei smiled faintly and looked at Ling Xiao with incomparable gentleness. It was as though she only had eyes for Ling Xiao and nothing else. She was calm and gentle, and her temperament was otherworldly. She exuded a peerless aura, and her faint smile made the world pale in comparison. I really want to know more and more how far you can go. Feng Qingyang took a deep breath as he thought to himself with a complicated look in his eyes. When he was subdued by Ling Xiao, he was naturally unwilling to accept it. He was constantly thinking of how to defeat Ling Xiao and break free from Ling Xiao's restraints and terror. However, as he followed Ling Xiao, he saw that Ling Xiao's strength was getting more and more terrifying. Ling Xiao's incomparable talent was not inferior to any of the supreme talents he had met. This shock even offset the dissatisfaction in his heart. Right now, he really thought of himself as Ling Xiao's follower. Junior sister Shuiwei, I was blinded by greed. I have let you down. Please let me go. I will never dare to be your enemy again. After seeing Shuiwei, the saint son of Samsara, who had been imprisoned by the endless lightning, knelt down in front of Shuiwei and begged for mercy. The Samsara saint's sudden action surprised Ling Xiao and the others. After all, the Samsara saint was the leader of the Samsara temple. As a supreme talent, he had his own pride. He would rather die than beg for mercy. However, the Samsara saint was so eccentric that he knelt down in front of Shuiwei to beg for a chance to live. Everyone's eyes were filled with disdain. They looked down on the Samsara saint even more. You don't have to beg me. You have to bear the consequences of your own actions. You can die, but you represent the dignity of the Samsara temple. I wonder what the sect master and the supreme elders would think if they knew what you're doing now. Shuiwei said indifferently, her eyes incomparably calm. Junior sister, I know that young Master Long will listen to you. As long as you plead for mercy on my behalf, he will definitely agree. I promise you that as long as you save my life, I will obey you from now on. I will never betray you. The Samsara saint did not stand up and begged Shuiwei. He saw hope in Shuiwei. When he was in the Samsara temple, he knew that although his junior sister was exceptionally talented, she was incomparably kind-hearted. He believed that Shuiwei would not leave him in the lurch if he threw away his status and begged for mercy. As expected, the Samsara saint saw a trace of hesitation in Shuiwei's eyes. Ling Xiao did not look at the Samsara saint. Instead, he looked at Shuiwei and smiled. Silly girl, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. As long as you spare his life, I will let him go now. Ling Xiao had never taken the Samsara saint seriously. The Samsara saint was only a follower of the heavenly demon young master. Even the heavenly demon young master was far behind Ling Xiao now. To Ling Xiao, it did not make much of a difference whether he let the Samsara saint go or not. Shuiwei's eyes revealed a trace of gratitude, but she still said resolutely, Young master, kill him. This person harbors evil intentions. Sparing his life will only bring trouble to the Samsara temple. If you kill him, the grudge between you and the Samsara temple will be resolved. The Samsara saint did not expect Shuiwei to be so resolute in her decision. She wanted Ling Xiao to kill the Samsara saint. The Samsara saint's expression changed drastically. He immediately cursed. You bitch. If the Samsara temple had not taken you in, you would have died a long time ago. You repay kindness with ingratitude. I think you want to be the young master of the Samsara temple. You are afraid that you will not be able to compete with me, so you want to kill me. Shuiwei, you bitch. Rumble. Ling Xiao's eyes turned cold. Before the saint son of Samsara could finish his words, the flipping sky seal came crashing down. Terrifying divine light burst out like a divine mountain, directly killing the saint son of Samsara. The saint son of Samsara was turned into a mist of blood. His soul was completely destroyed. Chapter 2154. The world is going to change. Someone muttered to himself as he looked at Ling Xiao in the void, his eyes filled with awe. Demon Saint Nine's son was killed by Ling Xiao. Even the saint son of Samsara could not escape death in the end. Only the heavenly demon young master managed to escape. Everyone was shocked and in awe of Ling Xiao's combat strength. The scene was silent, and even their breaths were held. Ling Xiao stood in the air, his body surrounded by blazing divine light. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes seemed to have the sun and moon revolving. The flipping sky seal in his palm was floating in the chaotic chi. His aura was vast and mysterious. His gaze swept across the crowd, but no one dared to look him in the eye. They could not help but lower their heads. Senior Mu, where is Inen? Ling Xiao descended from the void, and his aura slowly retracted. He walked up to Muan, cupped his hands and bowed. Heroes come from young. I didn't believe the young master when he said that you could kill Demon Saint 9 Sunday. I didn't expect you to really do it. The young master. Muen sighed. However, before he could finish his sentence, his expression changed drastically. Oh no. The young master is suffering from the backlash of the demon clan seal. Young master Ling Xiao, come with me. Muen's eyes were filled with anxiety. He instantly turned into a stream of light and shot toward the depths of the demon race's holy city. He's suffering from the backlash of the demon clan seal? Ling Xiao was shocked. Although he did not know what the demon clan seal was, he became anxious when he thought of the old goat being in danger. He chased after Muen without hesitation. The old goat is in danger? Let's go, let's go. The white dragon horse also let out a strange cry. It carried Shuiwei, and Feng Qingyang followed closely behind. They all chased after Muen. The white dragon horse and Ling Xiao were both very excited when they heard the news of the old goat. After all, they had not seen each other for more than 10 years. Although the white dragon horse often bickered with the old goat in the lower world, they were very close. It had long wanted to look for the old goat. Now that the old goat was in danger, the white dragon horse's concern was sincere. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Everyone turned into streaks of light. Their speed was extremely fast. They tore through the void and used the greater void teleportation technique. Very quickly, they arrived at the center of the demon holy city. It was an extremely grand and ancient palace that rose and fell continuously, while suffused with dazzling light and auspicious qi. It seemed to be ethereal and peaceful. Yet at this moment, boundless light was gushing out from the depths of the earth's core, and it emanated energy fluctuations that caused one's heart to tremble. Many people rushed out of the palace. Their eyes were filled with terror. The power that emanated from the depths of the earth's core made them feel a great sense of danger, as if they would be torn to pieces at any moment. Rumble. Blazing divine light rose up. It looked extremely violent and contained a chaotic and disorderly power. One could vaguely see that there seemed to be a small sun in the depths of the earth's core, emitting endless light and heat. Two blurry figures sat cross-legged in the center. It's the old goat. Ling Zhao's body trembled. Although he could not see the faces of the two figures clearly, he instantly recognized the extremely familiar aura. It was the old goat. Crack. Ling Xiao shot towards the depths of the earth's core like a bolt of lightning. He moved extremely quickly. The surrounding space was distorted as endless divine light gushed out. Ling Xiao could sense that the closer he got to the old goat, the more terrifying the chaotic laws became, as if they could tear everything apart. Right in front of him was a resplendent sun that radiated with scorching demonic light. It was ancient, dignified, and mysterious. It vaguely seemed to contain the aura of all living beings. It was majestic, ancient, and mysterious. Ling Xiao charged towards the depths of the divine light. His body shone with translucent light as a faint chaotic aura permeated the surroundings. The chaotic energy and light in the surroundings were unable to do anything to him. Very soon Ling Xiao saw the old goat. In the depths of the earth's core, the old goat sat before a resplendent sun. Beside him was a white-haired old man. Both of them erupted with tremendous and terrifying ripples of cultivation, pouring their power into the resplendent sun before them. One could vaguely see an ancient and mysterious seal floating in the middle of the resplendent sun. It looked very mysterious. Runes twined around the ancient seal like tadpoles, causing the ancient seal to emit terrifying fluctuations of power. The surrounding void distorted, and a vast macro world vaguely appeared. Countless fiend gods and ominous beasts roared and shook the sky. However, the old goat and the white-haired old man were not in a good state right now. The old goat's glossy black fur had all been burnt to ashes. He had become a bald goat. Strands of golden blood even seeped out from his body. His face was extremely pale. The white-haired old man's presence was chaotic as well. His vast saint's might had vanished. He tottered as if he was about to run out of energy at any time. The ancient seal in the resplendent sun trembled violently, as if it was about to fly out at any time. Ling Xiao could sense that as long as that ancient seal flew out, something bad would happen. Ling Xiao. Ah! I knew you were the one who killed Demon Saint 9 Sunday. Not bad, not bad. I haven't seen you for more than 10 years, but you're still as elegant as ever. You're almost half as elegant as me. The old goat's eyes lit up when he saw Ling Xiao appear. He was extremely excited. Ling Xiao was both annoyed and amused as he said, "You're still in the mood to talk about this at a time like this? What's going on? What can I help you with?" Ling Xiao didn't act rashly. Instead, he asked, "Pfft, I didn't think that demon Saint Nine's son would trick me." He didn't completely refine the demonic clan seal, but he left a wisp of his divine sense in it. After you killed that old man, he immediately detonated that wisp of divine sense, causing a powerful backlash from the demonic clan seal. The old goat said gloomily, "What's the demonic clan seal? How can I help you refine it?" Ling Xiao asked the key question. Chapter 2155. However, as long as I can refine the demon race seal, I can become the new guardian of the demon saint city. You came just in time. If the demon race seal escaped, it would be difficult to get it back. Activate the ancestral dragon, true phoenix, black tortoise, white tiger, and Qilin's secret skills at the same time to help me suppress the demon race seal and refine it completely. The old goat said quickly. Rumble. As his voice fell, the demonic clan mark seemed to become more and more unstable. It spewed out endless divine light, and the space around it trembled violently. The small sun shook violently, as if it was about to shatter at any moment. All right. A divine light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. In an instant, terrifying energy exploded from his body. He slammed his palm down on the demon race seal. Rumble. The lightning was dazzling. Ling Xiao was like an exploding divine sun, releasing endless light and heat. Around him, the roars of dragons and tigers resounded through the sky. There were also the cries of phoenixes, black tortoises, and Qilin suppressing the center of the mysterious scene. Around Ling Xiao, boundless demonic light rose. At the same time, the illusory figures of the ancestral dragon, the true phoenix, the black tortoise, the white tiger, and the Qilin appeared. However, they looked extremely lifelike and exuded a vast amount of pressure. It was as if they could tear apart the void in all directions. Ling Xiao activated the 5 great secret skills at the same time. Behind him, 5 ancient and mysterious worlds seemed to appear. Their auras were monstrous as they pressed down on the demon race seal. Kacha. The dazzling sun exploded. The demon race seal shone brightly and emitted endless divine light. It trembled slightly and wanted to escape through the void. However, Ling Xiao's palm covered the sky and the shadows of the 5 sacred beasts descended. At the same time, they carried the power of the 5 great worlds and pressed down on the demon race seal. Boom. The demon race seal trembled violently as if it was frozen in place. In an instant, it stopped in the void. In Ling Xiao's palm, the ancestral dragon, true phoenix, black tortoise, white tiger, and Qilin formed a 5-colored divine light. They were like 5 divine chains that suppressed the demon race seal. Ah, it's indeed effective. Ling Xiao, hold on. I'll refine the demon race seal. The old goat's eyes lit up and he laughed loudly. Whoosh! Flowing light flickered around him, and blazing divine light gushed out from behind him. In an instant, a vast and ancient world appeared, exuding a wave of power that could devour everything, and an incomparably majestic and ancient saint's might erupted from it. In that world, a majestic devouring power extended towards the demonic clan seal. The old goat's expression turned grave as he began to refine the demonic clan seal. This is the devouring heaven holy domain. Ling Xiao was a little surprised. He never thought that the old goat would have cultivated the sky-devouring secret skill to such a level. He had already reached the great perfection realm. The devouring heaven's sacred domain was the symbol of the devouring heaven secret technique's completion. However, Ling Xiao had been stuck at the devouring heaven divine sea level for a long time. He hadn't condensed the devouring heaven's sacred domain yet. He didn't expect the old goat to be ahead of him. Condensing the devouring sacred domain meant that the old goat's attainments in the devouring great path had reached an unfathomable level. Using the devouring great path to refine the demonic clan mark actually seemed like it was going to refine the demonic clan mark. Rumble. The demonic clan mark seemed to have felt a strong threat, and began to tremble violently. Runes rose from it and terrifying fluctuations spread out like lightning. They collided with the 5 divine chains of order, trying to break free from Ling Xiao's suppression. At the same time, a vast and mysterious aura shot up from Ling Xiao's arm and spread towards his sea of consciousness. Roar! Roar! The dragon's roar shook the sky and the beast's roar tore the earth apart. The terrifying aura spread out and pulled Ling Xiao's consciousness into an ancient and mysterious world. Above his head, terrifying giant beasts covered the sky. Their wings were like clouds that covered the sky as they fought fiercely in the sky. On the earth, countless ferocious beasts were in a killing frenzy, sinking the earth in all directions. Seawater poured in, forming a vast ocean that drowned the earth and mountains. Ancestral dragon, real phoenix, white tiger, black tortoise, qilin, 3-legged golden crow, immemorial dragonesque elephant, bays, taotai, qiongqi. Many ancient divine beasts and sacred beasts that only existed in legends appeared, exuding a terrifying aura. Is this an ancient mark left behind in the demonic clan mark? Ling Xiao's heart trembled. Although he knew that everything before his eyes might be an ancient imprint left behind by the demonic clan seal, an illusory scene and not reality, the aura was still too real, causing his Yuan spirit to tremble uncontrollably. It was like a dream back to ancient times. Ling Xiao experienced a great battle between countless experts of the demonic clan in the ancient times. That battle shattered the 9 heavens, sank the 9 underworlds, and pierced through the 10,000 worlds. Billions of creatures died in that battle. If it was an ordinary person, they would have lost their mind in an instant under the impact of such a terrifying aura. How could they continue to suppress the demonic clan mark? However, Ling Xiao still persevered. His primordial spirit was as firm as a rock. The vast aura, the tragic scene of the ancient battle, and the aura of billions of experts couldn't do anything to Ling Xiao's primordial spirit. Instead, they became nourishment for his primordial spirit, causing it to become even more crystalline and translucent. Rumble. The old goat sat in the meditative pose before the demonic clan mark, and used the supreme devouring grand Tao to refine it. His eyes were dazzling as he exuded a majestic aura, as if an ancient emperor had been reborn, causing the surrounding void to violently tremble. Runes rose from the demonic clan mark as a mysterious scene emerged. It seemed to contain the marks of time, recording the reproduction, glory, and destruction of the demonic clan, causing the surrounding firmament to violently tremble. However, the old goat used the supreme devouring grand Tao to firmly suppress the demonic clan mark and slowly refine it. Boom! When the old goat completely refined the demonic clan mark emitted an unwilling hum. In the next moment, it emitted a boundless light as dazzling as the rising sun. Meanwhile, the old goat stood in the air, surrounded by chaotic energy. The demonic clan mark floated above his head, causing him to look even more mysterious and majestic. A new protector has been born. When Mu'en saw the scene before him, his entire body trembled. His eyes revealed an extremely excited expression. No one knew the meaning of the demonic clan mark more than him. Obtaining the demonic clan mark meant complete control of the demonic holy city. This wasn't just an increase in power. The most important thing was that the old goat now had the chance to compete for the ultimate creation. Chapter 2156. 9 Sun Demon Saint had died a miserable death. If he had completely refined the demon race seal, the old goat wouldn't have had the chance to seal the power of the Zhou Tian star formation, and he wouldn't have died so easily at Ling Xiao's hands. Now that the demon race seal had been completely refined by the old goat, he had become the new guardian of the demon saint city. Does the demon race seal contain the fate of the demon race? It's a treasure of fate. Although it's not an ultimate emperor weapon, if I have the demon race seal in the demon saint city, I'll be invincible. I was too careless. When Ling Xiao saw that the old goat had refined the demon clan mark, his eyes revealed a trace of understanding. At the same time, he felt some lingering fear. He finally understood how lucky he was to be able to kill 9 Sun Demon Saint. The reason why a guardian was a guardian wasn't as simple as Ling Xiao thought. If 9 Sun Demon Saint had the demon race seal and activated its power, the outcome would have been different. However, the demon race seal doesn't just represent the guardian's identity. Ling Xiao thought to himself. When he was suppressing the demon race seal, he felt a mysterious and transcendent aura from the demon race seal. It seemed to contain the power of the heavenly Tao, but it was hidden in the depths of the demon race seal. He couldn't feel it clearly, but the old goat might know the function of the demon race seal. Rumble. The divine light in the surroundings shone brightly. However, as the old goat swallowed the demon race seal, the light in the surroundings slowly dissipated, and the void returned to normal. Ling Xiao looked at the familiar figure of the old goat, and watched as he slowly opened his eyes. A smile appeared in his eyes as he called out softly. The old goat's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with excitement. There seemed to be a crystal-clear liquid flowing out of his eyes, but it evaporated instantly. He suddenly pounced at Ling Xiao and kicked Ling Xiao's head with his huge hooves. The terrifying power contained in the hooves seemed to be able to crush a mountain. Ling Xiao didn't dodge and continued to look at the old goat with a smile. When the huge hooves landed on Ling Xiao's head, the violent power instantly dissipated. In the end, it only lightly flicked Ling Xiao's head. Ling Xiao, you bastard, do you know how worried I was about you? They all said that you were killed by the old bastards of the Heavenly Curse sect and Hua clan. I didn't believe it at first, but where have you been in the past 3 years? You bastard. You made me so worried about you. Ling Xiao, do you know? I miss you so much. The old goat kicked Ling Xiao while cursing. In the end, his eyes turned red as he cried and laughed at the same time. It was a heartbreaking sight. Perhaps in the old goat's heart, he had already treated Ling Xiao as his family. Ling Xiao was someone who had lived 2 lives. From his first life when he was weak all the way until he became the heaven-devouring supreme, the old goat had always been by his side. To a certain extent, the old goat had appeared even earlier than Jin Sei. They were already brothers and relatives. Just like when the demon saint died, the old goat cried very sadly. He hugged Ling Xiao and said that he would be alone in the future. When the demon saint was around, life still had a place to come. When the demon saint was gone, life only had a way to return. However, in the end, Ling Xiao was still by the old goat's side. 2 lonely souls in this desolate world leaned on each other. That kind of affection had already seeped into their blood and bones. How could I not miss you? You're becoming more and more impressive. Ling Xiao hugged the old goat and said softly. His eyes were full of smiles. As he smiled, his eyes turned red and watery, but they disappeared immediately. Meeting again after more than 10 years, the brotherhood between them was indescribable. Boss Mu, I didn't expect the young master to have such a close brother. It seems like the old master will be able to rest in peace after knowing this. The old man with white hair and beard sighed softly. His eyes were full of emotions. He seemed to have thought of something, and was slightly absent-minded. Isn't that right? When young Master Ling Xiao heard that the young master was in trouble, he rushed over without hesitation. If he hadn't killed the 9-Sun Demon Saint, the young master would have been in even greater trouble. Yinhe, are you thinking of old third? Muan also nodded and looked at the old man with white hair and beard. Yinhe nodded and then shook his head. There was a trace of hatred in his eyes as he said. Third brother died for the young master. He died a worthy death. However, if I don't avenge him, I'm not human. One day, I'll kill my way up to the clouds and kill that old bastard. Second brother, be careful with your words. The Celestial Emperor is one with the heavenly Tao and can sense some things. You can't call him by his name. However, the heavenly demon young master is in the chaotic ancient land. We can find a chance to kill him first. Muan said with a cold look in his eyes. Yinhe nodded and fell silent. Shuiwei, the white dragon horse, and Feng Qingyang stood aside and didn't disturb Ling Xiao and the old goat. However, the white dragon horse and Feng Qingyang's eyes were filled with envy. They all knew how rare it was to have a brother who could entrust his life to them in this cold world. Old goat, I didn't expect you to cry. Hee, I've really learned something new. The white dragon horse saw the old goat and Ling Xiao walking over together, and couldn't help but mock. The old goat suddenly squinted his eyes and walked over. He looked at the white dragon horse with some evil intentions and said, Are you itching for a beating? I haven't beaten you for more than 10 years, and you still look like you're asking for a beating. Tst, old goat, you think you can beat me? Come on, Let your brother Ma teach you how to be a human. The white dragon horse laughed proudly and was very arrogant. He had awakened the bloodline of the dragon tribe and the Pegasus tribe in his body. His strength had reached the peak of the 9th Revolution half-saint realm. In addition, Ling Xiao had taught him the shifting secret technique and the secret technique of the ancestral dragon, which made his battle strength extremely terrifying. Although he couldn't see the old goat's cultivation, he guessed that the old goat's cultivation was about the same as his. In addition, he had extreme speed and was naturally in an invincible position. That was why he dared to be so arrogant. After all, he had been bullied badly by the old goat in the lower realm. He had been suppressing his anger for a long time and wanted to avenge himself. Teach me how to be a human. Very good. The old goat opened his mouth and smiled, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. Then he lightly kicked the white dragon horse with his hoof. Ling Xiao looked at the white dragon horse with a trace of sympathy. This fellow was too arrogant. He didn't know that the old goat's cultivation was much higher than his, and was even stronger than Ling Xiao's. Ling Xiao, don't look down on horses. Today I'll teach this fellow who's the boss. The white dragon horse also felt Ling Xiao's gaze and instantly felt that he was being looked down on. He couldn't help but snort coldly and directly kicked the old goat with his hoof. Boom. Chapter 2157. The old goat's hoof lightly landed on the white dragon horse's head with incomparable accuracy. The white dragon horse couldn't even break through the old goat's defense. Ripples spread out, and the old goat's smile was so dazzling to the white dragon horse. A large bump immediately appeared on the white dragon horse's head. It was as if it had collided with a sturdy mountain, causing its vision to turn black. It was so painful that tears were about to flow out. The white dragon horse didn't expect the old goat to be so powerful. It wanted to use its extreme speed to escape. Trying to escape? Didn't you want to teach me how to be a human? The old goat's mocking voice rang out. The vast devouring sacred domain appeared behind him. The devouring Tao swept across the void like a chain of order, and sealed the white dragon horse's body. With the suppression of the devouring sacred domain, the white dragon horse felt like it was carrying billions of mountains. Naturally, it couldn't increase its speed. The old goat also knew that the white dragon horse had the extreme speed of teleportation. Naturally, he would not give it a chance to escape. His first move was a thunderous strike. Then, his huge goat hooves fell like raindrops on the white dragon horse's body. Bang! 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 The white dragon horse screamed. It couldn't escape from the old goat's claws. It could only endure the old goat's attacks. Moreover, it couldn't break through the old goat's defense. It could only passively take the beating. After a while, its nose and face were swollen. It looked very miserable and miserable. Bastard horse, do you still dare to be arrogant in front of me? Didn't you want to teach me how to be a human? Come, come, come. Why aren't you attacking? Can't you be more capable? Tell me who's the boss. Bastard, if I don't beat you until you piss your pants, I'm not young masterin'. The old goat sneered while beating the white dragon horse. The white dragon horse was still very stubborn at the beginning. Although it was screaming, it was still very stubborn. It didn't beg for mercy at all. However, it couldn't take it anymore, and began to loudly beg for mercy. I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Big brother, you're my big brother. I beg you spare me. It's my mouth, it's my fault. Please forgive me. The white dragon horse licked its face and scurried away like a rat after being beaten by the old goat. Ling Xiao was angry and amused at the same time. The white dragon horse was used to having a foul mouth. It was very arrogant and despotic. Ling Xiao couldn't do anything to it. Now there was finally someone who could control it. Everyone showed a kind smile. They also saw that the old goat had a sense of propriety. Although the white dragon horse was screaming, he didn't hit it too hard. He only used a little trick to make the old goat feel incomparable pain. And then don't lower yourself to his level. Tell me about the demonic race mark. I'm afraid the demonic race mark isn't as simple as a guardian. Ling Xiao stopped the old goat and said with a smile. The old goat seemed to be tired as well. It vented its anger and spared the white dragon horse. The white dragon horse collapsed on the ground. Its face was bruised and swollen. It whimpered and whimpered. It did not even have the strength to beg for mercy. That's right. You should have seen it too. Although the demonic race mark represents the identity of a guardian, and can control the holy city of the demons and activate the power of the great star formation in Jotian, that's not the most important point. The demonic race mark represents the identity of a candidate for the chosen child. It is also the ultimate fortune. The old goat's expression became serious when he talked about the demonic race mark. A candidate for the chosen child? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as if he thought of something. That's right. There are 108 ancient cities in the ancient Chaos Land. Each ancient city has an ancient seal that contains the providence of 108 powerful races. It is a treasure of providence. Only by controlling the ancient seal can one become the guardian of the holy city. Before we entered the ancient Chaos Land, the guardians of the holy city were mostly natives of this place. They were recognized by the ancient seal by chance and became the guardians. However, the guardians are not static. As long as you kill the guardian, you can replace him, control the ancient seal, and become the new guardian. You should have heard of the City of Chaos, right? All of this was actually made up by the protectors. They didn't want the people in the chaotic ancient land to have other thoughts. However, they didn't know that their fates were already sealed the moment they became protectors. The old goat said slowly with a strange look in his eyes. In the primal chaos ancient land, there are 108 holy cities, representing 108 powerful races. They also contain 108 kinds of fortunes. As long as you obtain the ancient seal and become a guardian, you'll be a candidate for the heaven's chosen child. You'll be qualified to compete for the ultimate fortune. The original guardians were just sacrifices. For example, when you killed Demon Saint Nine's son, you sacrificed his life to the demonic race mark. That was why I had the chance to control the demonic race mark. The old goat revealed the secrets of the demonic race mark and the ancient chaos land. Everyone was extremely shocked. Ling Xiao finally understood the origin of the chosen child. The old goat obtained the demonic race mark and became the new guardian. He also possessed the providence of the demonic race. He could compete with the prodigies of the other races and seize the ultimate fortune. The so-called chosen child was actually the child of providence of a race. Only when a race's providence was strong enough could it help them obtain the position of chosen child. It was rumored that the chosen child would definitely be able to prove his Tao and become an emperor. Moreover, he could help a race become the epic lord. In other words, as long as we seize the ancient seals of other cities, we can become candidates for the chosen child. Feng Qingyang's eyes also lit up. It could be said that in the face of this ultimate fortune, almost no one could resist the temptation. In theory, it's not a problem. However, I took advantage of a loophole. If Demon Saint Nine's son hadn't completely grasped the demonic race mark, do you think we could have succeeded so easily? The strength of a guardian with the ancient seal is not something that ordinary people can imagine. However, if you obtain the ancient seal, you can also obtain a great fortune. You will be protected by the providence of a race and reach a state where you can't be invaded by anything. Just like how the white dragon horse couldn't break through my defense earlier. In fact, it was the effect of the demonic race's providence. The old goat said slowly. Demon Saint Nine's son's strength isn't very strong. He's not even as strong as the heavenly demon young master. Overall, his cultivation is equivalent to the heaven ascension realm. If he activates the Jotian star formation, he should be able to reach the second earth realm. And then if Demon Saint Nine's son had the demonic race mark, how strong would he be? Ling Xiao looked at the old goat and asked. In order to obtain the ancient seal, he had to assess the true strength of the guardians. Comparable to the heaven realm. Comparable to a great sage. The old goat said slowly with a solemn look in his eyes. Chapter 2158. It was comparable to the heaven realm, and could fight against a supreme saint. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expression changed. The third level of the ascension realm was called the heaven realm. It would give birth to 3 Tao immortal flowers and condense heaven, earth and man. It was called the heaven realm. The third level of the heaven realm was complete. Although they were not yet saints, They could kill saints and were invincible in the saint realm. Once they became saints in the heaven realm, they would be as strong as a supreme saint. If Demon Saint Nine Sun had the demon seal and unleashed the combat strength of a heaven realm expert, it would be very difficult for Ling Xiao to defeat him. He might even be defeated by Demon Saint Nine Sunday. With the ancient seal, the guardian is almost invincible in the holy city due to the blessing of a race. Even a supreme saint would have a hard time defeating him. However, there's a flaw. If he leaves the holy city, he won't be able to use the power of providence and can be killed. The old goat said slowly. If that's the case, the ancient seal should be useless. It can only be used in the holy city. Once it leaves the holy city, it'll be beaten back to its original form. Feng Qingyang said disappointedly. It's not useless. The ancient seal is a treasure of providence. It's blessed by the heavenly Tao. If you can gain the seal's approval, you'll be able to use a portion of the heavenly Tao's power and have better providence than ordinary people. With the ancient seal, you'll be able to comprehend the heavenly Tao's power all the time and increase your cultivation speed by 10-fold or even 100-fold. Moreover, you'll be protected by the heavenly Tao when you explore the secret realms in the chaotic ancient land. The old goat explained. No matter what, if we want to become the chosen one, we'll have to obtain an ancient seal and become the guardian of the holy city. Ling Xiao nodded and said. What Ling Xiao wanted the most was naturally the human clan's seal of the human clan's holy city. However, he could imagine how intense the competition for the human clan's seal would be. Furthermore, he could sense that the human clan's guardian's strength was unfathomable. He was far stronger than Demon Saint Nine Sunday. It would probably be very difficult to obtain the human clan's seal from him. Ling Xiao, there's a chance to obtain the ancient seal. Maybe we can give it a try. The old goat's eyes lit up after some thought. What chance? Ling Xiao asked curiously. That old Taoist, Wu Liang, is currently eyeing the Tao race mark. However, the Tao race is extremely mysterious. Furthermore, the Tao race's guardian is extremely powerful and unfathomable. Originally, I didn't have much hope for him. However, we can set up a trap and kill the Tao race's guardian. The old goat chuckled. His eyes were filled with eagerness. Taoist Wu Liang. Was this fellow also in the primal chaos ancient land? Could the Tao race you mentioned be the Tao race era, before the devil race era? It is said that the self-proclaimed cultivators of the Tao race have been slaughtered by the devil race. There are still people of the Tao race in the ancient chaos land? Ling Xiao asked in surprise. He was incomparably excited. Both the old goat and Taoist Wu Liang had appeared. However, the Taoist race that the old goat had mentioned was extremely important to him. There were countless races in the myriad of worlds. Many powerful races had disappeared in the long river of time. Even if some had reproduced to this day, they were only left with a feeble existence and were extremely weak. In the myriad of worlds, the most powerful races were still the human race, the devil race, the demon race, the sorcerer race, and a few other limited races. However, the name of the Taoist race had once resounded throughout the myriad realms. They had dominated for an era and created an endlessly glorious cultivation civilization. At that time, the human race was still struggling to survive. Even the devil race, who were at their peak, had no choice but to retreat into the devil world. However, it was said that at the end of the Tao race era, the devil race swept through the myriad of worlds and slaughtered all the experts of the Tao race. They had created the devil race era. Ling Xiao did not expect the mysterious Tao race to exist in the ancient chaos land. Wu Liang had been hanging out with me in the demon world. This time, he naturally came to the ancient chaos land. However, that guy is very mysterious. He seems to be related to the Tao race. Therefore, he went to the Tao race Saint City alone to become the Tao race's guardian. The Tao race was extremely mysterious. It was said that at the end of the Tao race era, a group of Tao race experts entered the ancient chaos land. Later on, they gradually multiplied into a large race. However, they stayed in the ancient chaos land and were unable to leave. However, there were many experts in the Tao race and they were extremely united and xenophobic. They especially hated the experts of the devil race to the core. Very few people would enter the Tao race Saint City. However, in the Tao race, The men were incomparably handsome, like elegant young masters. The women were beautiful, like goddesses from the 9 heavens. They were extremely beautiful with ice skin and jade bones. The old goat said slowly and smiled maliciously at the end. Since Taoist Wuliang is in the Tao Race Saint City, let's go there to find him. As for whether or not we can get the Tao Race seal, we'll see what happens after we meet Taoist Wuliang, Ling Xiao said after thinking for a while. Alright. Then let's go now. The old goat nodded and said. The group decided to head to the Tao Race Saint City. The Tao Race Saint City was not close to the Demon Race Saint City. The white dragon horse naturally became their mount. Although the white dragon horse was unwilling, it was forced by the old goat's abuse of power and finally agreed. Ling Xiao the old goat, Shui Wei, Feng Qingyang Muen Saint, and Cloud Crane Saint all landed on the white dragon horse's back. The white dragon horse neighed and broke through the void. It used the Great Void teleportation technique and flew towards the Tao Race Saint City. Whoosh! The white dragon horse's fur was pure white and flawless. It was like a bolt of white lightning. Its speed was extremely fast as it moved through the chaotic void. The surrounding scenery became distorted. It was moving at an unimaginable speed. In a flash, it was tens of thousands of miles away. Everyone was incomparably amazed. Legend had it that when the white dragon horse matured to its peak, it could instantly teleport to any place it wanted to go. It was no wonder that the ancient emperors liked to use dragon horses as their mounts. The Tao Race Saint City was a mysterious place. It was as if it was isolated from the world. It was an ancient and mysterious paradise. Immortal mountains were ethereal and filled with clouds. Ancient towering trees towered into the depths of the sky and covered the sky. All kinds of old vines and precious herbs could be seen everywhere. It was like a paradise that looked incomparably mysterious. Between heaven and earth, there was a mysterious Tao law. It was as if it could easily make people fall into a state of Tao enlightenment. It was very peaceful. When Ling Xiao and the others appeared in the void, they saw this mysterious area. Chapter 2159. Everyone could hear a mysterious sound wave coming from the holy city of the Tao race. It was very pleasing to the ears, as if it contained the fluctuations of the great Tao. Young men and women in feathered clothes flew out from the holy city of the Tao race on cranes. They looked graceful and extraordinary, exuding a transcendent and otherworldly aura. Is this the holy city of the Tao race? The great Tao law here is so dense. Could it be that a supreme expert passed away here? Feng Qingyang's eyes flickered as he said in disbelief. The chaotic ancient land seemed to be closest to the heavenly Tao law. The cultivation speed in the chaotic ancient land was 10 times or 100 times faster than the outside world. However, the heavenly Tao law in the holy city of the Tao race was 10 times clearer, allowing one to enter the Tao enlightenment state at any time. You're right and wrong. Legend has it that in the Tao race era, the Tao ancestor fell and was killed by the demon race emperor. However, a finger of the Tao race was brought here by an expert of the Tao race, forming this mysterious area. The old goat said slowly as he recounted the legend he had heard. A finger can form such a mysterious precept domain, and it hasn't dissipated after 2 eras? The Tao ancestor of the Tao race is really terrifying. Shui Wei exclaimed. Her injuries had completely healed, and after experiencing this serious injury, she was about to break through her limits. Her aura became more ethereal and mysterious. As the saintess of Samsara, she had seen many traces left behind by the Tao ancestor in the ancient books of the Samsara temple. Although countless years had passed, she could still see how peerless the Tao ancestor was through those glimpses. Is Taoist Wuliang in the holy city of the Tao race? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. When he came to this area, Ling Xiao could feel the wordless heavenly book trembling slightly, as if it had sensed an aura that made it extremely excited. This fluctuation would only be so strong when the wordless heavenly book sensed the 12 sky skills. In other words, there were 12 sky skills in the holy city of the Tao race? This discovery made Ling Xiao's heart tremble. Not necessarily. He planned to lure out the guardian of the holy city of the Tao race, then kill him and take the Tao race seal. I'll contact him first and see if he's still in this area. the old goat said as a resplendent voice transmission stone appeared in his hand. This was a treasure made by Taoist Wuliang. It could communicate telepathically within an area. Taoist Wuliang gave it to Old Goat, so that Old Goat could contact him when he arrived at the sacred city of the Tao race. Wang. The sound transmission stone lit up. It was multicolored and dazzling, as if there was an extremely melodious aura being transmitted into the distance. Before the Old Goat could say anything, an extremely anxious voice rang out from one of them. The prince of the devil race has appeared. Quickly come to Ultimate Tao Mountain. The voice sounded very anxious, but it caused Ling Xiao and the others' expressions to change, because it was Taoist Wuliang's voice. Ultimate Tao Mountain. This was a forbidden area in the chaotic ancient land. It was rumored that this was a forbidden area of the heavenly Tao. The order of the great Tao was extremely chaotic, and there were dangers and killing intent everywhere. It was the border between the holy city of the Tao race and the holy city of the devil race. The land was barren and desolate, and the sky was filled with gray mist. Waves of devil chi rose, transforming into the shape of a ghost face. It looked extremely ferocious and terrifying. A lone peak that was tens of thousands of feet high sat on this land. It was like a broken sword, steep and sharp, exuding an aura that could destroy the world. This was Ultimate Tao Mountain. It was derived from the meaning of the Great Tao. However, at this moment, a group of Demon Clan experts in black robes surrounded two figures in Taoist robes on top of Taoist Mountain. Their demonic chi filled the sky. Among the two figures in Taoist robes, one was an old Taoist with white hair and beard. The aura around his body was vast and mysterious, unfathomable. However, at this moment, his face was extremely pale, and there was bright red blood overflowing from the corner of his mouth. There was an ancient seal above his head that was filled with five-colored light, containing vast great Tao laws. The other was a handsome and extraordinary middle-aged Taoist. He was wearing a white Taoist robe, and his eyes were sparkling and resplendent, as if there was a strange fluctuation of the great Tao. However, both of them were not in a good state at this moment. It was as if they had just experienced a great battle, and were almost exhausted. They were only relying on the ancient seal above their heads to support themselves. Tao Master, I advise you not to resist stubbornly. As long as you hand over the Tao clan seal, and the Tao ancestor's finger bone, and submit to the Emperor, we will spare your life. Otherwise, there is only death. Standing opposite the two of them, a black-robed young man said with a sneer. The black-robed young man's cultivation was very strong, but the mysterious Emperor beside him was even stronger. Every time he saw the Emperor, his eyes unconsciously revealed a look of reverence. The mysterious Emperor was shrouded in demonic light, revealing only a pair of indifferent and cold eyes. They were like blood moons, filled with bloodthirst and cruelty. It was this Emperor who had severely injured Tao Master with a single blow just now. Tao Master had no choice but to take out the Tao clan seal in order to be able to survive until now. The surrounding demonic light surged like a vast waterfall, forming an incomparably powerful formation barrier that sealed off Ultimate Tao Mountain. Now Tao Master and Taoist Wuliang had become turtles in a jar. Whether they were captured or killed was only a matter of thought from the Emperor. The son of the original Demon Emperor? You really live up to your reputation. However, do you think you are worthy of the Tao clan seal? Tao Master sneered, his voice full of hatred and killing intent. He was the guardian of the Tao clan. The reason why he rashly left the Tao clan's holy city and came to Ultimate Tao Mountain was to take out the Tao ancestor's finger bone. He did not expect to meet the original prince, and the strength of the original prince was something that Tao Master did not expect. He was defeated in one move. If it were not for the Tao clan seal, he and Taoist Wuliang would have been captured alive. Old goat, you bastard, hurry up and come. Otherwise, I'm really going to die here. Taoist Wuliang said with a bitter smile. He had originally followed Tao Master here, wanting to take the opportunity to kill Tao Master and obtain the Tao clan seal. However, he did not expect to be so unlucky as to meet the original prince and his group, who mistook him and Tao Master for members of the Tao clan. Taoist Wuliang knew that he was no match for the original prince, so he consciously became a coward. He secretly sent a voice transmission to the old goat. Although he hoped that the old goat could come to save him, he did not have much hope. Chapter 2160. Dao Master, do you really think that a mere Dao clan mark can save your lives? The Emperor appreciates you and has given you a chance to live. Don't be ungrateful. The black-robed youth sneered, and his eyes were filled with coldness. He was the genius of the Heavenly Fiend clan, Bohan. This time he followed the original prince to the primal chaos ancient land. Other than wanting to help the original prince seize the position of the chosen one, he also wanted to obtain enough opportunities and good fortune. He had already broken the limit once and formed the human sovereign. If he could subdue Dao Master and obtain the Dao clan mark and the Dao ancestor's finger bone, original prince would definitely reward him handsomely and allow him to break the limit a second time and form the Dao Master. This was an opportunity that he had to grasp. My death is not regrettable, but you want the Dao clan mark? That's impossible. Dao Master's eyes were extremely sharp. He wore a black and white robe that seemed to be intertwined with yin and yang qi. His hair and beard were white and his eyes were filled with vicissitudes of life. His entire body exuded a strong fighting spirit that was unafraid of death. The Dao clan mark seemed to have sensed his fighting spirit and trembled slightly. The vast Dao clan fortune descended and connected with the Dao clan mark, causing his aura to become even more terrifying. He stared at Original Prince with no fear in his eyes. Dao Master, you can't destroy the Dao clan mark. If you refuse to do it the hard way, then we can only kill you. Bohan's eyes darkened as he said with an ugly expression. Dao Master's unafraid of death made his idea of persuading him to surrender fail. He was flustered and exasperated. Cut the crap. The Dao clan and the Demon clan are irreconcilable. Even if I die today, I will drag most of you down with me. Dao Master's voice was like a thunderbolt that contained a sharp aura, causing his aura to rise to the extreme. If they were in the Dao clan's Saint City, Dao Master was confident that he could kill all the Demon clan members. Even Original Prince would not be able to escape. Unfortunately, this was Ultimate Dao Mountain. He was afraid that he would die here today. Ultimate Dao Mountain, Ultimate Dao Mountain. This name was very fitting. Dao Master, since you are unwilling to surrender, then die. Prince Primordial, who had been silent all this while, slowly opened his mouth. His blood-red eyes stared at the Dao Lord. The blood-red light seemed to cover the sky and earth. It contained vast demonic might and killing intent, wanting to destroy everything and return the world to chaos. It was incomparably terrifying. Rumble. He seemed to have lost his patience and slammed his palm towards Lord Taishian. Demonic light gathered in his palm and formed black flames. Even the void was burning, but they contained a coldness that could freeze the primordial spirit. They flew towards Lord Taishian. Primordial devil flames. This was the strongest flame that the primitive prince had. According to legends, it was the supreme flame that the primitive demon monarch had nurtured. It contained a vast amount of monarch aura that could burn everything. Kill. Dao Lord roared. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He held the Dao clan seal in his hand, and the fate of the Dao clan circled around him. He pointed his finger like a sword and sword chi rose around him. He instantly transformed into a peerless swordsman who wanted to kill all demons. A blazing sword light appeared in the sky and crossed thousands of miles of void. It emitted a clanging sound and slashed towards Prince Primordial. Heaven and earth were split into two. The sword will was extremely sharp. Rumble. However, Prince Primordial's expression was indifferent. There was even a hint of mockery. His huge demonic palm covered the sky and covered the entire sky. Heaven and earth were covered by the bone-chilling primordial demonic flame, wanting to freeze all life. That gigantic sword light was grasped in the palm of the devil's hand. He then clenched his fist, causing it to explode. Streams of primordial demonic flames burst forth, forming a series of black lotuses that looked mysterious and unfathomable, enveloping the Dao Lord within. The huge barrier around Dao Master was formed by the fate of the Dao clan. It was extremely sturdy. However, under the burning of the primordial demonic flame, it started to dissipate. This change caused Dao Master's expression to change drastically. When the luck of the Dao race around him was depleted, it would be difficult for him to stop the original prince. Wu Liang, I will create an opportunity for you. Take the demon clan's finger bone and leave this place. After I die, the Dao clan's seal will find you. I hope you can inherit the Dao ancestors' will and protect the Dao clan for me. Dao Master quickly sent a voice transmission to Daoist Wu Liang. His eyes were filled with sincerity. Daoist Wu Liang was slightly stunned. Speaking of which, he had the same idea as Prince Primordial. They both wanted to take the opportunity to kill Dao Master and steal the Dao clan's seal. However, by chance he had no choice but to be on the same side as Dao Master. Although he and Dao Master worked together to fight against the enemy, they were far from trusting each other. He did not expect Dao Master to be willing to give him the Dao ancestors' finger bone. Daoist Wu Liang's expression became complicated. Why me? The Dao sovereign smiled. However, within the black primordial demonic flames, his smile seemed to contain some hidden meaning. He said, because you are you. The mission of protecting the Dao race is your destiny. I believe in you. Dao Master's eyes were filled with anticipation, emotion, bitterness, and a trace of reluctance and longing. Rumble. He abruptly turned around, and a monstrous aura fluctuation emanated from his body. In an instant, the demonic clan seal shone with boundless light. A small golden sword appeared in his palm, emanating a mysterious aura fluctuation. In the next moment, it landed on Daoist Wu Liang's body, emitting waves of strange void fluctuations. It was about to take Daoist Wu Liang away from this void. Want to leave? None of you can leave. Prince Primordial's eyes flashed with a bloody light. In an instant, black demonic light surged from his palm. A strange light shot into the sky and flew toward Daoist Wu Liang. Freeze! An ancient syllable came out of Prince Primordial's mouth. In the next moment, a vast power descended from all directions. Daoist Wu Liang, who was about to disappear into the void, trembled violently. It was as if he was frozen in the void. Time and space seemed to have stopped. Daoist Wu Liang could only watch as the primordial demonic flame came closer and closer to him. Am I going to die? Daoist Wu Liang laughed bitterly. Although he had broken the limit once, in front of Prince Primordial, he was like a child who had not learned how to walk. He could not resist at all. No, Dao Master, who was trapped by the primordial demonic flame, saw this scene and let out a shrill cry. His eyes were filled with despair. Chapter 2161. Rumble. Dazzling divine light burst out from Dao Master's body, and the vast principle of Great Dao burst out. A mysterious Taiji diagram emerged, which seemed to contain the supreme power that could split heaven and earth. It directly shattered the primordial demonic flames around him. Dao Master's eyes were filled with determination as he moved at an extremely fast speed. He teleported through the void and instantly appeared in front of Daoist Wu Liang, blocking the monstrous demonic flames. Boom! The cold primordial demonic flames collided with the Tai Chi diagram, releasing a terrifying wave of power. However, it was unable to break through the defense of the Tai Chi diagram, and was blocked outside. You're courting death. Original Prince's eyes flashed with murderous intent as he struck out with his palm. Endless demonic light gushed out from his palm, and a mysterious power of decomposition erupted, as if it was going to decompose everything into the most fundamental particles. Crack! Original Prince slammed his palm on the Taiji diagram, causing it to shake violently. Runes exploded, and the Taiji diagram crumbled. The palm print landed heavily on Dao Master's chest, causing him to tremble violently as if he had been struck by lightning. He spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned paler. No! Daoist Wu Liang's eyes instantly turned blood red. He roared and a terrifying sound wave shook the heavens. He rushed up to the heavens and carried the severely injured Dao Master. His eyes were filled with shock, regret, and regret. Why did you save me? Do you know that I wanted to kill you and steal your Dao clan seal? Why did you do this? Daoist Wu Liang hugged Dao Master and shouted at the top of his lungs. His eyes were filled with endless pain. He followed Dao Master because he wanted to find a chance to kill him and steal the Dao clan seal from him. However, he did not expect that Dao Master would risk being severely injured to save him at this critical moment. Taoist Wuliang felt an intense pain in his heart, as if he was about to lose the most important thing in his life. Cough cough. I know that you want to kill me, but you may not know that the Dao clan seal should have been yours. My death is not regrettable, but you are the future hope of the Dao clan. Dao Master said to Taoist Wuliang with a smile while coughing up blood. Who am I? Who are you? Taoist Wuliang was stunned when he heard Dao Master's words. Of course you are a member of my Dao race. After I die, I hope that you can protect the Dao race and treat the Dao race well. I don't ask for the Dao race to regain the glory of the primordial era. I only ask that the Dao race can live in peace and be happy. Dao Master's eyes were full of longing and reluctance. Boom. Rings of demonic flame seemed to burn on his chest, and a mysterious power of decomposition was rapidly destroying his life force, causing his presence to become weaker and weaker. No. You can't die. I don't want to owe you anything. Come back to life. I'm going to kill you myself. Taoist Wuliang roared with bloodshot eyes. Take care. Dao Master smiled at Taoist Wuliang. In an instant his body exploded, and a powerful wave of energy rose, turning into yin and yang qi, sweeping Taoist Wuliang up. The next moment, he was about to break through the void and leave this place. It was the purest yin and yang qi, containing the Tao of yin and yang. It was formed by Dao Master's life essence, and even the primordial demonic flames could not resist the power of the yin and yang qi. Exploding with a loud bang, the Dao clan seal was intertwined with five-colored light, forming a mysterious five-colored enchantment that enveloped Taoist Wuliang. It also broke apart the demon clan formation around Endao Mountain. Seeing that Taoist Wuliang was about to escape, Prince Original's eyes revealed a hint of mockery. He said, You want to leave? Whether it's the Dao clan seal or your life, I'm going to take it all. Prince Original's voice was calm and ethereal, containing absolute confidence, as if everything was under his control. Boom. A brilliant light suddenly bloomed, and a mysterious ancient banner appeared above Prince Original's head. It was intertwined with various mysterious patterns, covering the sky and earth, exuding a vast emperor's aura. Lightning flashed, thunder rumbled, and the void trembled. The sky in all directions seemed to explode at this moment. Chaotic fog rose, and the ancient banner collided with the Dao clan seal. Origin banner. Taoist Wuliang's expression changed, recognizing the origin of the ancient banner. It was rumored that the natal emperor of the demon world's primitive demon emperor's natal emperor weapon was the origin banner, a ferocious emperor weapon. It was said that it had once devoured the blood essence of hundreds of millions of creatures in a great world. He did not expect Prince Original to bring this emperor weapon into the chaotic ancient land. Rumble. Although the yin and yang qi were incomparably powerful, they were no match for the origin banner. After holding on for a while, they exploded. The Dao clan seal shone brightly, rushing left and right, but there was no way it could escape with Taoist Wuliang. In the end, the Dao clan seal was blasted away, and the origin banner exuded an incomparably vast devouring power, falling toward Taoist Wuliang. Stop. Suddenly, a cold voice exploded in the void. Blazing rays of light gushed out, and a mysterious disc array was emitting a vast and unparalleled energy fluctuation. It came from afar at an extremely fast speed, and collided with the origin banner with a loud bang. Ling Xiao, the old goat, Shui Wei, and the white dragon horse had finally arrived. The array disc was summoned by the old goat, containing an incomparably powerful and mysterious emperor's aura, as if it could tear the world apart and devour everything. This was the boundary emperor weapon bestowed to him by Emperor Devouring Heaven, the devouring array disc. It was a supreme treasure personally refined by Emperor Devouring Heaven. Rumble. The origin banner and the devouring array disc collided violently. The terrifying emperor's aura seemed to have completely awakened, containing an incomparably vast energy fluctuation. However, in the end no one could do anything to the other, and they both exploded. Taoist Wuliang took the opportunity to appear in front of the old goat and the white dragon horse with a flash of light. Old goat, you're finally here. If you were any later, I would have died in the hands of these demon bastards. Ling Xiao. How did you guys get together? Taoist Wuliang took a deep breath. However, when he saw Ling Xiao and Shui Wei, he was naturally extremely excited. Who are you guys? The original prince did not continue to pursue Taoist Wuliang. His gaze fell upon Ling Xiao and the others, and his eyes burned with a cold murderous intent. Chapter 2162. Hehe, and I was wondering who it was. So it's a demon brat from the demon race. How dare you touch this king's brother? You must be tired of living. The old goat sneered. Young masterin? I don't want to fight with you today. Ask him to hand over the Dao race seal, and I'll give you face and spare his life. The original prince's gaze landed on the old goat. He seemed to have recognized the old goat's identity and said indifferently, Original prince, the Dao race seal belongs to this king's brother. What does it have to do with you? If you know what's good for you, scram now. Otherwise, don't blame this king for being impolite. The old goat didn't give any face to the original prince, and said coldly. Speaking of which, the old goat had suffered a loss in the hands of the original prince. When he was exploring a sealed world, the original prince took away many treasures. This made the old goat very angry. Now that he saw the original prince, he naturally didn't have a good expression. Young masterin, are you sure you want to interfere in my affairs? The original prince's eyes turned cold as anger surged in his heart. Cut the crap. If you want to touch this king's brother, you'll have to ask this king's permission first. The old goat sneered. Wang. The heaven-devouring array disc flew back above the old goat's head. The mysterious Grand Tao principles intertwined. It looked extremely mysterious, as if it contained a vast world. The old goat's aura was unfathomable, as if it could devour everything. Above his head, 2 Grand Tao immortal flowers bloomed. They were dazzling and filled with mysterious light. 2 figures vaguely appeared. Although the old goat was joking, he was extremely cautious when facing the original prince. He directly burst out with all his cultivation. This bastard has broken the limit twice and reached the earth realm? The white dragon horse clicked its tongue and muttered with its eyes wide open. He finally understood why the old goat could beat him so easily. It turned out that the old goat had reached the earth realm, 2 realms higher than him. This made the white dragon horse extremely depressed. And then this original prince's cultivation has probably reached the 3rd heaven realm. That origin banner is also a powerful emperor artifact. Do you really want to fight him? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he transmitted his voice to the old goat. Who said I'm going to fight him one-on-one? This bastard is too strong. I'm not his match at all. Didn't you see that even Taoist Wuliang was subdued by him? Later, I will make a move and trap his origin banner. Then, all of you will attack together and kill him. There's no need to talk about fighting one-on-one with these demon bastards. The old goat sneered and transmitted his voice. I can give it a try. Ling Xiao nodded, his gaze slightly solemn. Original prince gave off an extremely strong pressure. When Ling Xiao faced him, he felt as if he was facing a supreme devil saint, emitting a boundless and terrifying aura. This was a formidable opponent with unfathomable strength. Just as Old Goat was about to engage in a fierce battle with Original Prince's eyes flashed as if he had heard something. He coldly looked at Old Goat and said, Young masterin, I'll give you face today and spare his life. The Dao clan mark is temporarily on him. Next time, I will personally take it. At that time, if you still dare to stop me, don't blame me for being impolite. Let's go. Original Prince's body glowed with light, and in the next moment, the void far away shattered, and an ancient void tunnel appeared. He led many demon experts into it, and they disappeared in an instant. And why did this bastard leave so easily? Is he really going to give up on the Dao clan mark? Old Goat could not help but be stunned and said in disbelief. Perhaps he has more important things to do. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and said with a deep look in his eyes. I must kill him. Taoist Wuliang's eyes were blood red and his murderous intent was almost tangible. In the past, Taoist Wuliang had always been calm and collected like an otherworldly expert. This was the first time Ling Xiao and Old Goat had seen Taoist Wuliang hate someone so much. The guardian of the Dao clan. Old Goat and Ling Xiao looked at each other and asked carefully, They could feel that there was a very strange connection between Taoist Wuliang and the guardian of the Dao clan. I was wrong. All this time, I thought that I was a rootless water, a flower without leaves. But now, I understand that my roots are in the Dao race. And he, the Dao master, the guardian of the Dao clan, might be the closest person to me. Taoist Wuliang was a little crazy. He seemed to be crying and laughing at the same time. The Taoist clan mark floated above his head and emitted a bright light. The five-colored light seemed to contain the power of the great Tao of the five elements. Strands of light fell down like jade, making him emit a mysterious aura that could not be penetrated by anything. The Dao clan mark merged with him perfectly. He did not even need to refine it. It was as if it originally belonged to Taoist Wuliang, and now it was just returning to its rightful owner. Although Taoist Wuliang did not know the relationship between him and the Dao clan, this scene was enough for him to confirm that he might be a member of the Dao clan. Previously, Taoist Wuliang and I were wanted by the Dao clan Saint City. It was the kind of wanted without any reason. Some Dao clan experts even wanted to kill us when they saw us. So Taoist Wuliang and I planned to kill the Dao clan's guardian and snatch the Dao clan mark. Could it be that we were wrong? The old goat looked at Taoist Wuliang's appearance and felt uncomfortable. He muttered to himself softly. Judging from Dao Master's attitude towards me, I should be a member of the Dao clan. As for why the experts of the Dao clan's Saint City are hunting us, something must have happened that we don't know about. I must find out. Dao Master died for me. I owe him my life, so I must protect the Dao clan for him. Taoist Wuliang's eyes revealed a hint of determination as he spoke slowly. Then let's return to the Dao clan's Saint City first. We should be able to find the answer there. Ling Xiao said. After seeing the Dao clan's Saint City, Ling Xiao felt that it was very familiar. At this moment he finally understood why. It was because the aura of Taoist Wuliang and the Dao clan's Saint City were too similar. They were almost from the same origin. Ling Xiao and the old goat did not know the origin of Taoist Wuliang. Even Taoist Wuliang himself did not know. Now, it seemed that they should be able to find out his origin in the Dao clan's Saint City. Let's go. Chapter 2163. Just as Ling Xiao and the others were flying back to the Dao race sacred city, Original Prince came to a mountain range covered in boundless demonic chi alone. Demon Fall Mountain Range. According to legend, a demon emperor had fallen here. Therefore this boundless demon chi had formed. Only the experts of the demon race could enter this place. The experts of the other races would die if they entered this place. Even ordinary demon race experts didn't dare to step foot in this Demon Fall Mountain Range, which was why Original Prince came here alone. In the middle of the Demon Fall Mountain Range, on a lone peak, Original Prince saw an evil-looking young man in a black robe with his hair dancing wildly. The black-robed young man's eyes were cold and his aura was sharp. He exuded a domineering, majestic, and arrogant aura. It was Dark Ling Xiao. When Original Prince saw Dark Ling Xiao, a hint of displeasure appeared in his eyes. As one of the three princes of the demon world, Original Prince commanded countless geniuses of the demon world. His status was very high, and the geniuses of the demon world were all extremely respectful when they saw him. However, Dark Ling Xiao didn't respect Original Prince at all. Instead, he treated him as an equal. Sometimes, he was even very arrogant and didn't listen to orders, which made Original Prince very unhappy. If it wasn't for the fact that he needed to rope in the Dark Demon sect and borrow Dark Ling Xiao's power, he would have killed Dark Ling Xiao with a slap. Ling Xiao, I hope your news is true. Don't disappoint me. Did you really find the place where the Demon Emperor fell? Original Prince glanced at Ling Xiao indifferently, hiding the hint of displeasure in his eyes. The reason why he gave up the Dao clan mark and did not fight Ling Xiao the old goat was because he heard Dark Ling Xiao's voice transmission, saying that he had discovered the place where the Devil Emperor had fallen. Therefore, he gave up the Dao clan mark without hesitation and came here. To him, the Dao clan mark could be obtained at any time, but the Demon Emperor's legacy was the most important. He had to obtain it. If he could obtain the Demon Emperor's legacy, he would possess the legacies of two Demon Emperors. Then he would be able to stand out among the three princes and compete for the supreme position of the chosen one. He would win another opportunity to become the epic lord for the demon race. Therefore, although he was unhappy with Darkling Xiao, when he heard that Darkling Xiao had found the place where the Devil Emperor had fallen, he was still a little more patient. That's right. The place where the Devil Emperor fell was in that valley, because I found an incomplete Emperor formation there. However, I had no way to enter it. Dark High Firmament nodded, a trace of regret in his eyes. An incomplete monarch array? That could very well be the place where the Devil Emperor fell. Prince Primitive's eyes lit up. I can take you there. But let me say this first. If you find the inheritance of the Devil Emperor, you must give me a share. Dark High Firmament said with a smile. Prince Primitive frowned and was a little unhappy. He hated Dark High Firmament's bargaining attitude the most, as if he had been greatly provoked. However, Dark High Firmament's attitude made the suspicion in his heart dissipate a little. Dark High Firmament probably really found the place where the Devil Emperor had fallen, which was why he dared to bargain like this. This made his heart burn even more. If I really find the inheritance of the Devil Emperor, I will naturally give you a share. But I don't want anyone to lie to me. You know the consequences. Prince Primitive gave Dark High Firmament a warning look. Don't worry, you will definitely have a great harvest. Dark High Firmament smiled casually. Then he leaped up and flew towards a valley covered in endless devil light. Although he looked very casual on the surface, he was sneering in his heart. Just now, he had sensed the existence of the main body, and the main body had sent him a voice transmission to lure Prince Primitive away. That was why he had used such a method. He believed that the valley would definitely give Prince Primitive a great surprise. Whoosh! Prince Primitive gave Dark High Firmament a cold glance and also flew over with him. It was a very ordinary valley that was shrouded in demonic light. There were some very strange demonic trees growing in it. Even the void seemed to be somewhat distorted. Everything looked a little grotesque and variegated. There really is an incomplete Emperor formation. Primordial Prince's eyes flashed as he slowly said. There seemed to be a purple light overflowing from his eyes. It looked overflowing with light, majestic and mysterious. In his eyes, the valley in front of him seemed to have become a little different. Mysterious lines intertwined, forming an extremely powerful formation fluctuation. However, those formations looked very ancient, as if they were incomplete formations left behind from the ancient times. They faintly emitted strands of extreme Emperor aura, as if they could break through the void in all directions. Prince Primitive and Dark High Firmament stood in front of the valley and did not rashly step in. Although the valley in front of them looked very calm, if they took a wrong step, they would probably die without a burial ground. Your Highness, I also accidentally discovered this valley. However, I don't have the ability to enter it. I can only rely on you. Dark High Firmament laughed very casually. Although he called him Your Highness, he did not have the slightest bit of respect. As if to verify his words, a sword-shaped holy artifact filled with holy might appeared in dark soaring clouds' palm, and shot towards the valley. Kacha! Suddenly, the originally calm valley became somewhat violent because of this sword-shaped sacred treasure. Bolts of lightning were dazzling, and the surrounding void began to distort. The incomplete Emperor formation seemed to have been activated, and divine chains of order shot out from it, striking the sword-shaped sacred treasure. Immediately, the sword-shaped sacred treasure trembled violently, and then it exploded with a loud bang. What a terrifying Emperor formation! When Prince Primitive saw this scene, he couldn't help but narrow his eyes. He didn't think that his body could be as strong as a sacred treasure. A perfect sacred treasure couldn't last long and instantly shattered. If he rashly barged in, he would probably end up like the sword-shaped sacred treasure. He had to think of a way to break the Emperor formation. Only now did Prince Primitive truly let go of his doubts about Dark High Firmament. He felt that it was extremely troublesome. Dark High Firmament definitely couldn't enter, so there shouldn't be any conspiracy. The place where the Devil Emperor fell. When he thought of the Devil Emperor's inheritance that might be hidden within, Prince Primitive's heart burned with passion. It's just an incomplete Emperor formation. Follow me, I'll break the formation. Prince Primitive glanced at dark high firmament and said, Wang. Chapter 2164. Rumble. Around Primitive Prince, there seemed to be a huge barrier that enveloped him in dark soaring cloud. Primitive Prince did not believe in dark soaring cloud, so the primitive banner shone brightly to protect him in dark soaring cloud, but also to monitor dark soaring cloud. The primitive banner exuded an extremely powerful emperor aura and flew towards the valley. The mighty aura fell from the sky as if it could crush everything. Kacha. The giant boulders exploded one after another, and the incomplete emperor formations imprinted on them also collapsed, disintegrated by the origin banner, turning into the most fundamental particles. Around Primitive Prince and dark soaring cloud, a bright rain of light bloomed. They bathed in the rain of light, looking immortal and mysterious, as if they were impenetrable. It is indeed an incomplete emperor array. After such a long time, its power has weakened a lot. Otherwise, it would not be so easy to break through the array. The original prince said slowly. The original banner covered the sky and the earth, enveloping the entire valley. The powerful emperor arrays started to crumble one after another, as if nothing could stop him for even half a step. It is indeed not the real primitive banner. Is it just a replica? Dark soaring cloud thought to himself. At this moment, he was observing the primitive banner from a close distance, and finally noticed the difference. Although the primitive banner exuded an extremely powerful emperor aura, it did not have the spirituality of an emperor weapon. Strictly speaking, it was just a replica. After all, the real primitive banner was the supreme emperor weapon of the primitive demon monarch. It would not be handed over to Primitive Prince. However, even if it was just a replica of the primitive banner, it was still a supreme emperor's item. It was extremely powerful, and those incomplete emperor's arrays could not withstand a single blow from it. However, after confirming that it was not the real primitive banner, Dark Soaring Cloud's plan could be carried out. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Primitive Prince and Dark Soaring Cloud entered the valley, the ground suddenly shook violently. Black demonic vines shot out from the depths of the ground, like sharp swords, towards Primitive Prince and Dark Soaring Cloud. Primitive Prince's eyes darkened. The black demonic vines were very strange, and even he could not recognize them. However, their power was extremely terrifying. The vines seemed to be able to pierce through the sky, containing a terrifying wave of destruction. Crack. The barrier around Original Prince and Dark Soaring Cloud began to tremble violently. Ripples appeared on it, as if it was about to shatter at any moment. You're courting death. Prince Original's eyes flashed with killing intent. In an instant, the primitive banner released an endless amount of light. Streams of black primordial devil flame burned, enveloping all the vines and starting to burn. The demonic vines struggled violently, as if they had a mind of their own. Black oil even seeped out from the vines, forming a ferocious ghost face. Its eyes were filled with incomparable resentment. Boom. Those devil vines were burned to ashes by the primordial devil flames all at once. This is Ghost Rot Tan. Why is there a ghost devil vine here? Ling Xiao, how dare you lie to me? Prince Primitive's eyes were filled with shock. His face turned ugly as he looked at Darkness Ling Xiao and said, the ghost devil vine was a very strange plant. It used the corpses of the strongest experts of the devil race as nourishment, and absorbed the most evil Indian energy to form the ghost devil vine. The ghost demon Rot-Tan loved to devour the experts of the devil race. Moreover, it was extremely vengeful. Usually, it would gather in groups of ghost demon Rot-Tan. If someone killed a ghost demon Rot-Tan, then that person would be chased to death by an endless number of ghost demon Rot-Tans. Wasn't this the place where the devil emperor fell? How could there be a ghost devil vine here? Darkness Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of innocence. He only said, Your Highness, I can't enter this valley at all. I can't even break through the incomplete emperor formation. Moreover, if I could enter here and see the ghost devil vine, I'm afraid I would have died long ago, right? So I didn't know there would be a ghost devil vine here. Humph. You better be telling the truth. Otherwise, I'll make you wish you were dead. Primitive Prince said coldly. Your Highness, don't worry. Why would I lie to you? Think about it. If there are ghost devil vines here, it means there must be the corpses of the strongest experts of the devil race here. Otherwise, the ghost devil vine wouldn't have been born. Maybe it's the corpse of the devil emperor. You'd better hurry up and find the inheritance of the devil emperor. Darkness Lingxiao smiled as if he wasn't worried at all. Rumble. As soon as Darkness Lingxiao's voice fell, the ground began to tremble violently. Endless demonic light surged and ghost devil vines flew out from the depths of the ground. Ferocious ghost faces appeared on the ghost devil vines. They were filled with hatred and killing intent. They stared at Primitive Prince as if they wanted to tear him to pieces. At the same time, an even more terrifying aura erupted from the depths of the ground. Endless mountain rocks exploded, and a ghost devil vine as thick as a mountain shot up into the sky from the ground. It was like a divine pillar that reached the sky. It was more than 1,000,000 feet long, as if it had pierced through the sky. A gigantic ghost face appeared in the sky, emitting an unparalleled aura, causing Original Prince to tremble all over. It was a kind of palpitation from the depths of his primordial spirit. It was as if he was instinctively afraid of the ghost devil vine. You killed my people. You deserve to die. The ghost face's mouth moved slightly, and spat out a few obscure syllables. It was as powerful as thunder. It was terrifying. Boom. In the next moment, all of the ghost demon vines went berserk. They flew across the sky and covered the sky, wrapping around Prince Yuanshi. Crack. The enchantment around Original Prince and dark soaring cloud exploded with a loud bang. At this moment, a glint flashed in Darkness Lingxiao's eyes, and the aura around him instantly dissipated. His feet trembled, and he plunged deep into the ground, vanishing from the surface. On the other hand, Dark Lingxiao quickly performed heaven-shrouding secret technique to conceal his aura completely. Then he turned into an ordinary ghost devil vine and hid in the depths of the ground. Sensing the disappearance of darkness, no matter how stupid Primitive Prince was, he instantly understood that he had fallen into a huge trap. This trap was most likely related to Darkness Lingxiao. Ah, Lingxiao, I must kill you! Primitive Prince roared. He was filled with anger and unwillingness. He hated Lingxiao to the extreme. He never thought that this kid who he could easily crush would dare to set a trap for him. Chapter 2165. Rumble. The gigantic ghost demon vine was like a towering ancient tree, towering into the universe. Its aura was monstrous, as if it had shrouded the sky. It was surrounded by densely packed ghost demon vines, covering the sky and earth, enveloping Original Prince. This was no longer an ordinary ghost demon vine. It could be called a ghost demon vine king. The monstrous aura caused Original Prince's expression to change drastically. This ghost demon vine king's cultivation had definitely reached the saint realm, and it was very likely that it had surpassed an ordinary saint, reaching the great saint realm. Facing a true supreme saint, even Original Prince felt his scalp tingle. At this moment, he no longer cared if he had been tricked by darkness soaring clouds. He had to find a way to escape from this predicament, or the consequences would be unimaginable. Crack! Black demonic light bloomed around him, containing the power to shatter everything, sweeping in all directions. The ghost demon vines exploded, and were crushed into dust by the unparalleled power. However, the ghost demon vines continued to wrap around him, not fearing death, causing the space around Original Prince to shrink. Whoosh! Original Prince gritted his teeth, and the original banner suddenly bloomed. Blazing divine light exploded in the void, causing the sky to tremble. Runes rose one after another, and a blazing sea of lightning seemed to have formed above the origin streamer. A vast and mysterious power erupted, containing a fluctuation that could annihilate everything. That was the power of the Extreme Emperor aura. Although the original banner was not a true Extreme Emperor weapon, it contained the power of the Great Emperor. Now that it had completely awakened, its power was unstoppable. Rumble. One by one, the ghost devil vines exploded. The primitive banner rose up and floated above Prince Primitive's head, sprinkling down strands of light to protect him. Original Prince did not dare to continue fighting. After breaking through the blockade of the ghost demon vines, He wanted to escape immediately. The ghost demon Vine King gave him too much pressure, and he felt that it was not to be trifled with. You've killed so many of my people, and no one can save you. A cold voice exploded in the void. In an instant, a black light fell from the sky, containing a power fluctuation that could penetrate everything, and shot at the origin banner. The primitive banner trembled violently. It was as if the beam of light was putting a lot of pressure on the primitive banner. Prince Primitive's expression changed drastically. Sir, I didn't mean to intrude into this place. I was also framed. Your Excellency, please don't fall into the trap of these scoundrels. If you have offended them, I am willing to compensate you. Prince Primordial said hurriedly as he defended. He discovered that the streaks of black divine light around the ghost demon Vine King were the barbs on the ghost demon vine. They were incomparably sharp, like divine swords from the ninth heaven that could pierce through everything. Even the primitive banner might not be able to withstand the ghost devil Vine King. You want compensation? You can use your life to make up for it. I can feel a very special aura from your body. If I devour you, this king will be able to evolve again. The ghost demon Vine King's huge ghost face floated in the sky. Its eyes were cold and bloodthirsty. It had made up its mind to kill Prince Primordial. It could feel a very tempting aura from Prince Primordial. Prince Primordial was the son of the Devil Emperor, and the blood of the Devil Emperor flowed in his body. It could be said that Prince Primordial's flesh and blood was an unparalleled treasure. If the ghost demon vine devoured him, it would definitely increase its strength greatly. After all, the ghost demon vine existed to devour the devil race. Ghost demon vine, do you really think that this prince is afraid of you? Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. After hearing what the ghost demon Vine King said, anger flashed in Prince Primordial's eyes, revealing a cold and blazing killing intent. Die. The ghost demon Vine King did not want to waste any more words with Prince Primordial. With a loud roar, vines wrapped around Prince Primordial like divine whips. Rumble. At the same time, the ghost demon Vine King began to tremble violently. That demonic face seemed to have formed an extremely vast devouring vortex that could turn everything into dust. An extremely terrifying devouring power wrapped around Prince Primordial. Kill. Prince Primordial was completely enraged. With a flash of killing intent in his eyes, he charged towards the ghost demon Vine King with the primordial banner in his hand. Clang! 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 The primordial banner clashed with the vines of the ghost demon Vine King, causing the sound of metal clashing. Sparks flew in all directions. Occasionally, the ghost demon Vine King would break through the primordial banner and shatter into pieces. However, the ghost demon Vine King seemed to be endless. As long as there was enough Devil Dao origin energy, it could form more ghost demon vines. The battle between Prince Primordial and the ghost demon Vine King was extremely intense. Every strike was earth-shattering, capable of tearing everything apart. Boom. Prince Primordial and the ghost demon Vine King fought for over 100 rounds. Both of them were truly enraged, and the battle was getting more and more intense. At this moment, Darkling Xiao, who was hiding deep underground and had transformed into a ghost demon vine, had a glint in his eyes as he muttered to himself. As expected of the original prince, his combat strength is indeed very strong. Even the ghost demon Vine King can't do anything to you. This is just an appetizer. Come and taste the second dish I've prepared for you. Darkling Xiao sneered. Next, a dazzling light shone from his palm. In an instant, one black rune after another rose up, containing ancient and mysterious ripples of power. Darkling Xiao injected the black runes into the roots of the ghost demon Vine King. His face turned pale. As for the ghost demon Vine King, it was as if it had been injected with chicken blood. Its aura instantly soared. Rumble. The sky in all directions was shaking. The huge ghost demon Vine King emitted a monstrous demonic aura. In an instant, divine chains of order swept across the sky, interweaving into a monstrous net, trapping Prince Primordial within. The ghost demon Vine King roared angrily. Endless light bloomed from its body. Flames rose up, as if they were burning the life source of the ghost demon Vine King, enveloping the primordial banner and Prince Primordial. Runes exploded on the primordial banner. The ghost demon Vine King's aura was too terrifying. It was as if it had transformed into a part of the heavenly Tao. With a raise of its hand, it could destroy everything. The runes on the primordial banner exploded, causing the void to shake violently. The black flames enveloped the primordial banner, burning the runes on the primordial banner to ashes. Then it turned into a devouring vortex, devouring the power of the primordial banner, causing its aura to become weaker and weaker. Puff. Chapter 2166. Ling Xiao activated his demonic origin bone, and didn't hesitate to give a strand of demonic origin power to the Ghost Devil Vine King. He activated the Ghost Devil Vine King's powerful strength and instantly injured Original Prince. The Ghost Devil Vine King originally had the combat strength of a great sage. Although Original Prince was strong, he relied on the primitive banner to tangle with the Ghost Devil Vine King. However, the Ghost Devil Vine King's strength instantly skyrocketed. Even the primitive banner couldn't resist the Ghost Devil Vine King, and was instantly broken. You want to die? An incomparably violent aura erupted from the Ghost Devil Vine King's body. It was like a volcanic eruption, causing his aura to become incomparably chaotic. The ghostly face above the void was incomparably ferocious. It looked at Original Prince with undisguised killing intent. Rumble. The ghostly face above the void crashed down. In an instant, rays of black demonic light intertwined. It was as if billions of demonic stars had fallen from the 9 heavens. The aura was monstrous. Ling Xiao, I won't let you go. Primordial Prince let out an incomparably sorrowful roar. He blamed all of this on darkness. Ling Xiao. Rumble. Original Prince's eyes revealed a trace of pain. In an instant, the violent aura around him exploded. Rays of golden bloodlight exploded, causing his aura to become dignified and mysterious. It was as if he had activated the power of an ancient great emperor. He could sweep through everything and was unstoppable. This was the great emperor's bloodline. Original Prince felt the great threat of the Ghost Devil Vine King, and decisively burned the great emperor's bloodline in his body. However, the great emperor's bloodline was his most precious power. It was also the reason why he could sweep through the crowd and suppress his peers. At this moment, it burned, causing his heart to bleed. After this battle, his vitality would definitely be greatly damaged. Crack. Original Prince directly rushed into the sky. The void exploded. The huge demonic face was instantly blasted into dust. The black demonic stars in the sky exploded at the same time. It was like a boiling sea. Ling Xiao, I know you're hiding nearby. The next time we meet, I will definitely make you die without a burial ground. Original Prince scanned his surroundings with his cold eyes and roared angrily. Whoosh. He had repelled the Ghost Devil Vine King, but in comparison, the Ghost Devil Vine King's body was too huge. Even if the Original Prince burned his great emperor bloodline, the damage he could do to the Ghost Devil Vine King was limited. Therefore, he chose to escape. However, the enmity had already been formed. He hated Ling Xiao to the bone. Suppressing his anger, he tore the void apart and disappeared from this world before the power of the great emperor bloodline was exhausted. Rumble. The Ghost Devil Vine King was also shocked by the power released by the Original Prince. By the time it reacted and wanted to attack, the Original Prince had already escaped. Only the Ghost Devil Vine King's unwilling roar was left in the void. Boom. The earth split open once again. The gigantic Ghost Devil Rot-Tan King spewed out endless demonic light, and was about to drill back into the depths of the earth to hide. But suddenly, the Ghost Devil Vine King's body began to tremble violently. Then, it rushed out from the depths of the ground and let out a furious roar. Who is it? Who dares to devour my power? Go to hell. The Ghost Devil Vine King bellowed, its entire body twisting and struggling violently. It was like a huge python, causing the surrounding mountains to collapse from the pressure. The earth trembled, and the towering ancient trees in all directions exploded. Everything within a radius of 10,000 miles was turned into dust by the Ghost Devil Vine King. At the same time, strands of black flame spread out from its body. Then it burned with a loud bang, forming a huge sea of fire that caused the void to distort. However, what frightened him the most was that his power was rapidly weakening, as if his power was being devoured by some kind of existence. At this moment, Dark Ling Xiao was sitting cross-legged inside the Ghost Devil Vine King's body. Black demonic light surged around his body. It was as if an ancient and mysterious world had appeared around him, emitting a monstrous devouring power. The incomparably violent power in the Ghost Devil Vine King's body was completely devoured by Dark Ling Xiao. After devouring the power of this Ghost Devil Vine King, I should be able to break through the second limit. There was a trace of expectation in Dark Ling Xiao's eyes as he muttered to himself. Above his head, black demonic light was dense. It contained the purest dark aura. A black lotus floated above it. It seemed to contain endless slaughter and evil power fluctuations. It swayed in the demonic light, looking very extraordinary. At this moment, the aura of a breakthrough once again erupted from his body. It was as if he was about to break through the second limit and condense the second great Dao Devil Flower. When Dark Ling Xiao entered the ancient land of primal chaos, he was only a 9th revolution half-saint. In these past few years, he had wandered in the ancient land of primal chaos and obtained some opportunities. He was lucky enough to break through the first limit and enter the human realm. At this moment, the Ghost Devil Vine King was his second opportunity. It allowed him to see the hope of breaking through to the Earth realm. The Ghost Demon Rattan King had been here for who knows how many tens of thousands of years. It had accumulated endless power within its body. Dark Soaring Firmament could sense that even a great sage expert might not necessarily have as much power as the Ghost Demon Rattan King. When the Ghost Devil Vine King was fighting with the original prince, Dark Ling Xiao had injected a strand of demonic origin into the Ghost Devil Vine King's body. It was to stimulate its potential so that it could defeat the original prince. It was also to find the Ghost Devil Vine King's weakness and enter its body to steal its power. Now Dark Ling Xiao had entered the Ghost Devil Vine King's body. Moreover, he had used the Heaven Shrouding Secret Technique and the Heaven Devouring Secret Technique to devour every energy fluctuation in its body. The Ghost Devil Vine King was suffering unspeakably. It couldn't detect any trace of Dark Ling Xiao. It could only watch as the power in its body was stolen, and then became weaker and weaker. Buzz. Above Dark Ling Xiao's head, the void trembled slightly. A second black lotus slowly emerged. Its petals were swaying and crystal clear. It was surrounded by a dense black demonic light. It looked very strange. With the appearance of the second great Dao Devil Flower, Dark Ling Xiao's cultivation had broken through to the Earth realm. He felt as if there was endless power from the earth converging into his body, making his body stronger and stronger. At this moment, the devouring power became even more vast and terrifying. It even caused some strange changes to Dark Ling Xiao's Heaven Devouring Secret Technique. The huge Ghost Devil Vine King began to wither at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the end, it exploded in the void with a loud bang. Boom! Chapter 2167. The Second Realm, huh? My cultivation has finally surpassed my original body. Darkness Ling Xiao slowly opened his eyes, and there was a black divine light flickering in his eyes. He muttered to himself, and there was a trace of excitement in his eyes. If he had not devoured the Ghost Demon Vine King, he did not know how long it would take for him to break through the second limit. This time, for Dark Firmament, could be considered a great harvest. Not only did he help his original body out, but he also used the Ghost Demon Vine King to severely injure original prince. In the end, he devoured the Ghost Demon Vine King, allowing his cultivation to break through. It was killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Darkness Ling Xiao was very satisfied with his methods. As for whether original prince hated him to the core, he did not care at all. It's time to leave this place. But now is not the time to meet my original body. The most important thing for me now is to obtain an ancient seal and become the guardian of a sacred city. Only then will I be qualified to compete for the ultimate fortune. Darkness Ling Xiao muttered to himself. Light flickered around his body, and he was ready to leave the valley. Buzz. But at this moment, the surrounding void trembled slightly. Rays of black demonic light rose and intertwined into a huge barrier, trapping Darkness Ling Xiao within. A wild and unrestrained voice exploded in the void. Kid, you killed my ghost demon Vine King, and you plan to leave just like that? The voice was extremely old, as if it contained the vicissitudes of time. However, it exuded an invincible aura that suppressed the world. Darkness Lingxiao could not help but tremble. Who is it? Darkness Lingxiao raised his head cautiously and looked in the direction of the voice. Boom! The demonic light exploded, causing the surrounding void to tremble. Boundless demonic light converged to form an old man in hemp robes. He looked wild and unruly. His eyes, in particular, seemed capable of seeing through everything. Darkness Lingxiao felt as though he had been seen through by the old man. Not bad. Not bad. After waiting for so many years, I did not expect to meet someone with the Dark Saint constitution. Kid, are you willing to be my disciple? The old man looked at Darkness Lingxiao with eyes full of undisguised passion, causing Darkness Lingxiao to feel a chill run down his spine. Who are you? Dark Soaring Firmament was on high alert, ready to attack the old man at any time. Brat, I am the Dark Devil Emperor. Have you heard of me before? The old man smiled proudly. In an instant, the aura around him changed drastically. An invincible aura that could sweep through the 9 heavens and 10 lands erupted, causing Lingxiao to tremble uncontrollably. It was a kind of fear and trembling that came from the depths of his soul. It was like an ant facing a divine dragon. Lingxiao felt that this old man could kill him with a wave of his hand. Dark Demon Emperor. How can you still be alive? Weren't you killed by the Heavenly Emperor? Dark Lingxiao exclaimed in shock. The Dark Demon Emperor was an ancient great emperor of the demon world. His strength was terrifying. It was said that he had lived for a few eras, and was one of the strongest great emperors in the demon world. However, at the beginning of the human race era, the Dark Demon Emperor had joined forces with a few other great emperors to hunt down the Heavenly Emperor of the human race. In the end, not only did they fail to do so, they even died in the hands of the Heavenly Emperor. Moreover, the Dark Demon Emperor was the founder of the Dark Demon Sect. The Dark Demon Sect was able to become one of the top 10 sects of the demon world, because they had obtained some of the Dark Demon Emperor's inheritance. At this moment, when this old man said that he was the Dark Demon Emperor, Lingxiao felt that it was unreal. It was as if a legendary figure had come back to life. Humph. If it wasn't for that despicable Heavenly Emperor, how could I have died in his hands? Don't worry, this is just a remnant of my soul. My true body has long been annihilated. That ghost demon Vine King is the spiritual root that protects this emperor. It's comparable to a great sage expert. I didn't expect that it would be devoured by you. How rare. Brat, are you willing to take this emperor as your master? When the old man who called himself the Dark Demon Emperor heard Dark Lingxiao mention the Heavenly Emperor, his face turned ugly. Why do you want to take me as your disciple? Dark Lingxiao didn't agree immediately. Instead, he asked cautiously, why do I want to take you as my disciple? Because you have the Dark Saint body and share the same origin as this emperor. You can obtain this emperor's inheritance. Brat, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't miss it. The Dark Demon Emperor smiled proudly. What if I refuse? Dark Lingxiao asked cautiously. His scheming was deep, and he kept having the feeling that this so-called Dark Devil Emperor had taken him in as a disciple, which made him feel very uneasy. He smelled a kind of conspiracy. You dare to refuse? The Dark Demon Emperor was slightly stunned. Clearly, he didn't expect Dark Lingxiao's reaction. After all, this was the inheritance of a great emperor. If it was an ordinary person, they would have fainted from excitement. However, this brat in front of him actually wanted to refuse. The Dark Demon Emperor laughed sinisterly and said, Brat, I think you want to do this the hard way. You only have 2 paths. The first is to take me as your master. The second is to die. You have to think carefully. Rumble. His voice was like thunder, causing the surrounding valleys to tremble as a vast world appeared. It was as though this world was peeled out from the primal chaos ancient lands. An incomparably terrifying aura permeated the air, as though as long as Darkness Lingxiao dared to say no, the Darkness Devil Emperor would decisively smack him to death. Disciple Dark Lingxiao greets Master. Before the Dark Demon Emperor could finish his words, Dark Lingxiao interrupted him and knelt down respectfully. Dark Lingxiao, I really didn't misjudge you. You know when to advance and when to retreat. Not bad, not bad. You can't even imagine how great of a fortune you will receive. This Emperor's inheritance is your greatest opportunity. The Dark Demon Emperor smiled satisfactorily. Thank you, Master. Master, what are you going to pass to me? An Extreme Tao Emperor weapon? A Supreme Emperor scripture? Or a Chaos treasure? Dark Lingxiao's face was filled with admiration as he said impatiently. Extreme Tao Emperor weapon? Supreme Emperor scripture? A Chaos treasure? You have a big appetite, brat. However, as long as you complete my final test, all of these will be yours. The Dark Demon Emperor rolled his eyes. He didn't expect Dark Lingxiao to be so greedy. He wanted to ask for the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon and Supreme Emperor scripture. He was indeed a greedy brat. Test. I have already taken you as my master. What other test do I need? Dark Lingxiao was slightly taken aback. Cough cough. Although you have taken me as your master, in order to check your talent and qualifications, you still need to go through a final test. As long as you can pass it, you will be the last disciple of the Dark Demon Emperor. The Dark Demon Emperor coughed softly. All right. May I know what the final test is? Chapter 2168. The final test is very simple. If you want to become this Emperor's disciple, you must be decisive in killing and have extraordinary combat strength that is not weaker than others. Go and kill 100 Heaven's Pride experts of the heaven-treading Third Realm. Then bring their Tao flowers to me. That will be considered as completing the test. This test is very simple. I hope you don't disappoint me. Dark Demon Emperor said indifferently. Kill 100 heaven-treading Third Realm experts? Master, this test is indeed very simple. I'll try my best. Dark Lingxiao said with a wry smile. Heaven-treading Third Realm experts were either invincible young monsters or ancient Heaven's Pride experts. Each of them had a profound background and extremely powerful strength. They all had various trump cards and methods. Although Dark Lingxiao had already broken the limit twice and broken through to the second realm, he did not have absolute confidence that he could kill a heaven-treading Third Realm expert, let alone 100 people. This test was not an ordinary level of difficulty. Remember, you only have 3 months. If you can't complete the test within 3 months, then you will lose the chance to obtain this Emperor's inheritance. Dark Demon Emperor said slowly. Dark Lingxiao nodded. His eyes turned and he said with a smile. Master, since I've already done the apprenticeship ceremony, do you think you should bestow me a few Extreme Tao Emperor weapons to protect myself? If I'm killed by those Heaven's Pride experts, although my death is not regrettable, it will be a great sin to tarnish Master's reputation. Regardless of what the Dark Demon Emperor in front of him was planning, Dark Lingxiao was a master who would not act without seeing the hair. He would first get the benefits that he could get. Dark Demon Emperor rolled his eyes and said snappily, a few Extreme Tao Emperor weapons? You're really not polite, kid. This Emperor's Extreme Tao Emperor weapon was damaged by that bastard Heavenly Emperor back then. It's still being nurtured now, so I can't give it to you for the time being. Here is an Emperor's token that can strip a heaven-treading Third Realm expert of the heaven-treading Third Realm and devour their Tao flowers. I'll bestow it to you. I hope you can complete the task as soon as possible. Emperor's token? Good stuff. Darkness Lingxiao's eyes lit up when he saw the ancient token in the Dark Demon Emperor's hand. It was a black command medallion that did not seem to be made of gold or jade. It was unknown what material it was made of, but it was as gentle as jade to the touch. It contained a vast amount of great Tao laws and a powerful Emperor's might. Although the Emperor's token was not an Extreme Tao Emperor weapon, it was still a powerful Emperor's possession. If the deprivation of the Emperor's token was really as powerful as the Dark Devil Emperor said, then it would be much easier for Dark Soaring Clouds to kill those experts of the heaven-treading 3 realms. After all, if he could strip them of their flowers and devour their heaven-treading power, then they'd be no different from a 9th Revolution half-saint. Dark Soaring Cloud accepted the item without hesitation and carefully put it away. You can leave now. Remember, you only have 3 months. Dark Demon Emperor said indifferently. Then, with a wave of his sleeve, the enchantment outside the valley immediately dissipated. Those powerful Emperor rays also hid themselves again. Thank you, Master. Disciple will take his leave now. Dark Soaring Cloud bowed respectfully to the Dark Demon Emperor, then turned around and flew out of the valley. Dark Soaring Cloud flew hundreds of thousands of miles, until he completely left this forbidden area. Only then did he breathe a sigh of relief in his heart. There were tiny beads of sweat on his forehead. In front of the Dark Demon Emperor, Dark Soaring Cloud felt tremendous pressure. Although he did not know what the Dark Demon Emperor was thinking and why he had to accept him as a disciple, Dark Soaring Cloud still decided to try and complete the test. After all, being targeted by a great emperor was not a good thing. Dark Soaring Cloud wanted to see if the Dark Demon Emperor would really give him the great emperor's inheritance after he completed the Dark Demon Emperor's test. Whether there was any conspiracy in this, Dark Soaring Cloud still needed to carefully think about it. 3 months is indeed a little tight. But there are many experts of the heaven-treading 3 realms in the Fiend Race's holy city. If I can seize the Fiend Race seal and become the guardian of the Fiend Race's holy city, the harvest should be not small. Let's go back to the Fiend Race's holy city to take a look first. Dark Soaring Cloud thought to himself, then flew in the direction of the Fiend Race's holy city. Not long after Dark Soaring Cloud left, the Dark Demon Emperor's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. He softly muttered to himself, an era has passed, the long years are too difficult to endure. This time, I hope he can succeed. A look of anticipation emerged in the Dark Demon Emperor's eyes. Demonic light surged around his body. Then he slowly disappeared into the void once again. Dark Soaring Cloud, Shuiwei, the Old Goat, Taoist Wuliang, the White Dragon Horse, and Feng Qingyang's group came to the Tao Race's holy city after leaving the ultimate Tao Mountain. From afar, the Tao Race's holy city looked like a huge immortal mountain. Dense fog and multicolored light made it look incomparably auspicious, and emitted an incomparably mysterious aura. When Dark Soaring Cloud's group of 5 arrived at the Tao Race's holy city, there were already people waiting for them outside the city gates. Leading them were 3 old men with white hair and beards. Their faces were rosy like a baby's, and their auras were ethereal and otherworldly. Stepping on clouds, a faint smile hung on the corner of their mouths, and their eyes were filled with anticipation. They were surrounded by sage aura. They were all sage experts. Behind the 3 old men, there were many young men and women. The men were handsome, and the women were extraordinarily beautiful. Their cultivation was also incomparably powerful, so there was a trace of unconcealable pride on their faces. Wuliang, welcome back to the Tao Race's holy city. Lord Tao Master has already transmitted everything to us. From now on, you are the guardian of our Tao Race. The leading old man smiled. His eyes were as deep as the sea, as if they could see through everything. Who are you? Taoist Wuliang's eyes flashed as he asked faintly. For some reason, there was a very familiar aura fluctuation on the 3 old men. We are the 3 elders of the Tao Race. I am Tao Shan, and these 2 are junior brothers Tao Hai and Tao He. We didn't expect Lord Tao Master to die in the hands of those demon bastards. Our Tao Race is absolutely irreconcilable with them. If we don't take revenge, we're not human. Great Elder Tao Shan's eyes revealed a trace of hatred as he said coldly. After Tao Shan's introduction, Dark Soaring Cloud and Taoist Wuliang understood the current situation of the Tao Race. It turned out that there were very few people in the Tao Race, and it was difficult for them to reproduce. Currently, there were only tens of thousands of people in the Tao Race. Tao Shan, Tao Hai, and Tao He were the 3 great elders of the Tao Race, and their positions were second only to the guardian of the Tao Race. Before Lord Tao Master died, he had transmitted the news of the new guardian of the Tao Race to the 3 of them. That was why they had brought people to wait for Taoist Wuliang outside the Tao Race's holy city in advance. Chapter 2169. The Tao Race's Saint City floated above the void like a celestial mountain and an eternal sun, emitting endless radiance. Auspicious vapors rose and rays of light shone. The ancient trees in the Saint City towered into the sky. The origin energy was incomparably pure, condensing into wisps of spiritual mist, sparkling under the sunlight. Ling Xiao and the other four entered the Dao race's Saint City under the escort of the three great elders, Dao Shan, Dao Hai, and Dao He. They headed towards the center of the Saint City. The Dao race's Saint City was like a mysterious small world. The people of the Dao race here were all valiant and had outstanding temperaments. They were ethereal and otherworldly, as if they were not from the human world. The men were extremely handsome, and the women were extremely beautiful. Their temperaments were very unique, which made Ling Xiao and the others gasp in admiration. It was no wonder that the Dao race had once dominated an era. Although the Dao race was in decline, their foundation was still extremely deep. Moreover, the people of the Dao race were extremely talented. Most of them were in the sage-to-be realm. In time, they would definitely become the backbone of the Dao race. Under the guidance of Dao Shan and the other two, Ling Xiao and the other four entered the Guardian Palace. The Guardian Palace was located in the depths of the Dao race's Saint City. It looked extraordinary and was cast in gold. It was dazzling and had set up a powerful formation that could gather the origin energy, turning the place into a cultivation sanctuary. Wu Liang, this is the Guardian Palace, the residence of the Lord Guardian. You guys can rest here first. I'll gather the people and hold the Guardian ceremony tomorrow. By then you'll be the new Guardian of the Dao race. Dao Shan smiled at Daoist Wu Liang. Thank you. Daoist Wu Liang's eyes flashed as he smiled faintly. You're welcome. After tomorrow, we'll all be a family. Kai Dai, I'll leave Lord Wu Liang in your care. You must take good care of him. Do you understand? Dao Shan was incomparably enthusiastic. He waved his hand and a valiant woman in armor walked in from outside the palace. The woman was extremely beautiful and had an extremely beautiful face. However, she had an exuberant heroic spirit that was unforgettable. Yes, great elder. Kai Dai's expression was indifferent as she nodded. Then, she cupped her hands towards Taoist Wu Liang as a form of greeting. Dao Shan was also a little embarrassed, but then his expression returned to normal. He chuckled and said, Wu Liang, Kai Dai has such a cold temperament, don't blame her for being rude. However, her loyalty is not a problem. With her protection, we can rest assured. Don't worry about it. I have to thank Great Elder for making such thorough arrangements. Daoist Wu Liang said with a faint smile. It's my duty, it's my duty. In that case, I won't disturb your rest any longer. This old man will take his leave. Tomorrow, I will send someone to pick you all up for the Guardian ceremony. Dao Shan smiled and glanced at Ling Xiao and the others. There seemed to be a gleam in his eyes as he turned around and left with Dao Hai and Dao He. Kai Dai, take some people and stand guard outside the temple. Without my permission, don't come in. Daoist Wu Liang glanced at Kai Dai and said. Kai Dai's cultivation was very high. She had broken the limit for the first time, which made Daoist Wu Liang extremely surprised. Moreover, Kai Dai had hundreds of guards under her, all of whom had the cultivation of half-step saints and above. Each of them exuded a powerful killing intent. They were all experts who had experienced hundreds of battles. Yes. Kai Dai nodded, then turned around and left decisively. Boom. The gate of the protector hall slammed shut. The old goat's palm shone with resplendent light as a brilliant formation disk spread out in all directions. It formed a powerful formation boundary, enveloping Ling Xiao and the others. The old goat's formation boundary could isolate all probing. In this unfamiliar sacred city of the Taoist race, no matter how cautious they were, their expressions began to relax. Ox-nosed old Taoist, you will be the guardian of the Taoist race tomorrow. Why are you still frowning? If you don't want to, I can reluctantly help you become the guardian of the Taoist race. The white dragon horse patted Daoist Wu Liang's shoulder with its hoof, and said with a cheeky smile. Something is strange. Ordinary people may not know, but I know very well. Although the Guardian Temple is the residence of the Guardian, the guardians of the Taoist race usually don't live in the Guardian Temple, but in the core of the Taoist Palace. That is also the core of the formation boundary of the Taoist race's sacred city. Only there can the Taoist clan seal unleash its strongest power. Daoist Wu Liang frowned slightly. Hee Dao Mountain, Dao Sea, and Dao River, those three old fellows are obviously not good people. They are bullying you because you don't know anything. They even got Kai Dai, that little girl, to protect you. I think it's more like they are monitoring you. Didn't you say that there are Taoist race experts after you? I think it has something to do with the three of them. The old goat sneered. The old goat is right. There is something strange about this place. You must be careful of their schemes. Shuiwei also nodded and said, I think we should just kill our way out and kill those three old fellows. You have the Taoist clan seal, so you are invincible in the sacred city of the Taoist race. They will submit to you. Feng Qingyang said in the simplest and most brutal way. Kid, why are you becoming more and more like a demon? You are always talking about fighting and killing. Can't you use your wisdom? The white dragon horse rolled its eyes and said, Hee, how can it be so troublesome? Let's make it simple and cut the Gordian knot. I am willing to kill my way out with you, Feng Qingyang said with a smile. Ling Xiao, what do you think? Daoist Wuliang glanced at Ling Xiao, who was deep in thought, and asked. Everyone's gaze involuntarily fell on Ling Xiao. Unknowingly, they had already regarded Ling Xiao as their backbone. At this moment, they also wanted to hear Ling Xiao's opinion. I think, Wuliang, you have the Taoist clan seal, so you are invincible in the sacred city of the Taoist race. No matter what schemes they have, they will be useless in the face of absolute strength. However, they still dare to play tricks, unless... Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of brilliance as he said slowly. Unless they can take away my control of the Taoist clan seal. Daoist Wuliang continued Ling Xiao's words with a trace of sharpness in his eyes. That's right. I guess, Wuliang, they must have something to do with you being hunted down. However, since the Taoist master and the guardian value you so much, there must be something we don't know. Now that the Taoist master and the guardian have passed the Taoist clan seal to you, they must be unwilling to accept it. If they want to play tricks, I'm afraid it will be during the guardian ceremony tomorrow. Ling Xiao nodded and said, I also want to see how they can take away my control of the Taoist clan seal. Chapter 2170. We must guard against this. Although the ancient seal contains the power of the heavenly way, and can control the power of the 108 sacred cities, we can't rule out other secret techniques that can strip the power of the Dao clan seal. The old goat's expression was solemn. He knew how terrifying the ancient seal was. With the Dao clan seal, Daoist Wuliang was the guardian of the Dao race's sacred city. He was invincible in the Dao race's sacred city. However, if the power of the Dao clan seal was taken away, it would be dangerous. Dao Mountain doesn't allow us to stay in the Dao Palace. I'm afraid there's something in the Dao Palace that we don't know about. If we want to figure it out, we must explore the Dao Palace. Daoist Wuliang said slowly. Explore the Dao Palace? That's a good idea. However, Kai Dai is watching us from the outside. It won't be easy to hide from her senses. Why don't I explore the Dao Palace? Everything will be fine as usual. Ling Xiao's eyes glinted as he nodded his head and said, There won't be any danger in the Dao Palace, right? Shuiwei's eyes revealed a trace of worry. Don't worry. I'm just going to explore. There won't be any danger. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Buzz. Ling Xiao's body flashed and a stream of light shot out from his body, turning into a body that was exactly the same as him. Regardless of appearance or aura, there was no difference between them. Ling Xiao's body flashed slightly and disappeared into the void. The heaven-shrouding secret technique could conceal all aura fluctuations. Even Kai Dai, who was guarding outside, did not notice that Ling Xiao had left quietly. Dao Palace. On top of the mountain in the center of the Dao race's sacred city, an ancient bronze palace was the Dao Palace. It was also the core of the entire Dao race's sacred city. In the Dao Palace, chaotic mist filled the air and a mysterious figure was faintly sitting cross-legged. At this moment, Dao Shan, Dao Hai, and Dao He were standing in front of the figure with a respectful expression. They set up an isolation formation? Looks like they're not too stupid. The figure said faintly. There seemed to be 7-colored divine light intertwining in his eyes, making him look mysterious and extraordinary. My lord, they're very alert. I suspect that they've noticed something. After all, Wu Liang was hunted down by our men before. Dao Shan said respectfully. Don't worry, they can't escape from my grasp. Don't think that just because you have the Dao race seal, you can control the Dao race's sacred city. They are still too inexperienced. If everything goes according to plan, the Dao race seal will change owners tomorrow. The divine light in his eyes seemed to be able to see through people's hearts. Yes, sir. Dao Shan, Dao Hai, and Dao He couldn't help but tremble. They couldn't help but kneel down and speak with great respect. They knew full well how terrifying this lord was. Even if Daoist Wu Liang had the Dao clan mark, he was no match for this lord. At that moment, Ling Xiao had fused with the space around him, and snuck into the vicinity of the Holy Ji Palace. There were many guards around the Holy Ji Palace, and there were even many hidden sentries. The place was heavily guarded, and powerful primordial spirit fluctuations covered the entire area around the Holy Ji Palace. Not even a fly would be spared. Seeing how heavily guarded the Holy Ji Palace was, Ling Xiao became more and more convinced that there must be some kind of secret hidden in the Holy Ji Palace. I need to think of a way to get in, Ling Xiao thought to himself. He was confident that he could fool the guards outside the Holy Ji Palace, but the Holy Ji Palace must have powerful formations and restrictions. If he barged in rashly, he would definitely be discovered by the people in the Holy Ji Palace. Just as Ling Xiao was hesitating, a familiar figure suddenly came into view. It's her. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a hint of surprise. It was a beautiful woman in a red dress. She had a graceful figure, and was walking into the Holy Ji Palace under the lead of several guards. The reason why Ling Xiao was surprised was that the woman's appearance was exactly the same as Katie's. It's not Kaidai. Although they look the same, their temperaments are different. Could she be Katie's twin sister? Ling Xiao thought to himself. Although he was guessing in his heart, he immediately realized that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. His body flashed, and when the woman in the red dress passed by, he directly turned into a speck of dust and stuck to the woman in the red dress. Boom! The gate of the Holy Ji Palace slowly opened. Miss Tsai, the Lord is waiting for you in the Holy Ji Palace. I hope you won't disappoint him. The leader of the guards was a young man in the 9th Revolution half-saint realm. He smiled coldly and then led the guards away. Tsai stood at the gate of the Holy Ji Palace. Her face revealed a trace of struggle. Eventually, she became extremely distressed. She gritted her teeth and walked into the Holy Ji Palace with great determination. The gate of the Holy Ji Palace closed once again, and Ling Xiao finally noticed the scene in the Holy Ji Palace. In the Holy Ji Palace, the chaotic mist was dense, and the auspicious vapor was rising. It looked peaceful and ethereal, like a fairyland full of dreamy atmosphere. In the center of the Holy Ji Palace, a mysterious figure sat cross-legged. Shrouded in chaotic gas, the face could not be seen clearly. However, the pair of eyes were extremely mysterious. They revealed a 7-colored divine light, mysterious and majestic. Tsai, you've come. A faint voice sounded in the Holy Ji Palace. It was incomparably clear. Ling Xiao could feel that the figure's aura was incomparably powerful, making him feel threatened. Ling Xiao fully activated the sky-devouring secret skill. His aura disappeared without a trace, as if he was a speck of dust, very inconspicuous. Ling Xiao tried his best to hide his existence, and at the same time, he was observing the situation in the Holy Ji Palace. My lord, Tsai has thought it through. I'm willing to give myself to you. Please spare my sister, Kaidai. Tsai said softly. Her voice was like a jade bead falling on a jade plate, crisp and pleasant. Her fragrant shoulders trembled as if she had made a decision. Her eyes were full of determination. The red dress on her body slipped down quietly, revealing a perfect body. 2 lines of clear tears fell from the corners of her eyes, making her exude a kind of temperament that made people feel pity for her. Ling Xiao was also stunned. Tsai's red dress slipped down, perfectly covering her body. A delicate fragrance assailed his nostrils. It contained the aura of a young girl, which made Ling Xiao unable to react for a moment. The figure indifferently looked at Tsai's body. His eyes were full of undisguised appreciation. Miss Tsai, you're really great. You're willing to sacrifice yourself for your sister. Is it really worth it? It's worth it. I only beg you to let Kaidai go. Chapter 2171. Sai, I'm very satisfied that you took the initiative to offer yourself. But you should know that you and Kaidai are both mystical saint bodies. I can't let you go. As long as I pluck you, not only can I break through to the heaven realm, but I can also become an invincible saint with my heaven realm cultivation. At that time, all the geniuses in the universe will be trampled under my feet. Ha ha. The figure burst out laughing arrogantly. His voice was full of ridicule. Sai's face instantly turned pale. Dao Wuxia, you're shameless. You said that as long as I agree, you will let Kaidai go. You didn't keep your word. I won't let you go even if I become a ghost. Sai's eyes were filled with despair. Whoosh! A blue dagger appeared in her palm, and she stabbed it directly towards her forehead. Her speed was extremely fast, and she was incomparably ruthless. Even Ling Xiao was a little moved. He didn't expect Sai to be so decisive. She would rather commit suicide than be humiliated by this figure. Crack. However, when that blue dagger approached Sai's glabella, it couldn't move at all. A seven-colored lightning wrapped around Sai's arm, making her whole body numb. The dagger fell down in a flash. TSK. It's the soul-dispersing saint poison? I didn't expect your temper to be so fierce. How many years has it been since someone called me Dao Wuxia? But do you think you can die in front of me? That figure waved his hand, and suddenly the blue dagger fell into his palm. Buzz. The chaotic qi dispersed, and the figure slowly walked out from the chaotic qi, revealing his true appearance. Ling Xiao could not help but narrow his eyes. It was a young man with a ferocious face. Half of his face was black and emitted a demonic aura. The other half of his face had lost all flesh, leaving only black bones. He wore a black and white robe. Half of his aura was incomparably holy, while the other half was filled with demonic aura. It was incomparably evil. It was as if the holy path and the demonic path had formed a wonderful balance on his body. Dao Wuxia. Is he also a member of the Dao clan? But it seems like he has fallen into the demonic path. Ling Xiao thought to himself, trying to guess Dao Wuxia's background. Kai Yi and Kai Dai were indeed siblings. This time, Kai Yi came to beg Dao Wuxia to let her sister go, but she was rejected by Dao Wuxia. As for the mythical beauty saint physique, Ling Xiao had heard of it before. It was a type of physique with the purest yin. It was also the best saint physique for dual cultivation. If one could pluck a woman to supplement the mythical beauty saint physique, not only would one obtain the original power of the mythical beauty saint physique, but one's cultivation would also increase greatly, allowing one to directly break through the bottleneck. No wonder Dao Wuxia wasn't willing to let go of Kai Yi and Kai Dai. The mythical beauty saint body was extremely rare. Even those saints would have evil thoughts about it. Dao Wuxia, you'll die a horrible death. Lord Dao Master was a hero all his life. How could he give birth to a bastard like you? You betrayed the Dao race, joined the devil race, and killed the people of the Dao race. You don't deserve to be the son of Dao Master. Kai Yi cursed, her eyes full of despair. Dao Master's son? Is this Dao Wuxia really from the Dao race? Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat. He finally knew the background of this Dao Wuxia. Dao Master was the guardian of the Dao race. Although Ling Xiao hadn't seen it with his own eyes, according to Dao Wuxia's description, Dao Master was an indomitable hero. Even Ling Xiao admired him. But Dao Master's son was like this. Ling Xiao found it unbelievable. Don't mention that old thing in front of me. After hearing the two words Dao Master, Dao Wuxia's face changed. His eyes were filled with endless rage and killing intent. He said coldly, that old thing is stubborn and stubborn. They say that even a vicious tiger doesn't eat its cubs. He actually wanted to kill me over such a small matter. He can't even protect his family. How can a hypocrite like him deserve to be the guardian of the Dao race? Dao Wuxia screamed at the top of his lungs. Dao Wuxia, you still have the face to talk about Lord Dao Master? If you hadn't secretly cultivated the devil art, If you hadn't taken advantage of the disciples of the Dao race, if you hadn't committed treason, would Lord Dao Master have attacked you? You're blindly filled with hatred, but you don't know how much Lord Dao Master has done for you. You're a beast that's worse than a dog. Kai scolded, her face blushing. She had always regarded Dao Master as her idol. Hearing Dao Wuxia scolding Dao Master at this moment, she felt both angry and sad. Lord Dao Master was a hero, but he gave birth to a despicable son. I'm worse than a dog. I'm a beast? Ha ha ha. I'm afraid you don't know, right? I was the one who told Original Prince about that old thing's whereabouts. He doesn't treat me as his son, and I don't have such a father. I want him dead. Only when he's dead can I become the true ruler of the Dao race's Saint City. Dao Wuxia roared furiously. His face was distorted and his eyes were filled with malice. What? You were the one who told Original Prince about Lord Dao Master's whereabouts? Kai's face lost all color. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. Lord Dao Master was Dao Wuxia's father. She had never expected Dao Wuxia to be the culprit behind Lord Dao Master's death. This news shocked her. She couldn't believe it. Beast. Damn it. Ling Xiao was about to explode from anger. His heart was filled with killing intent. Not only had this Dao Wuxia fallen into the demonic path, he had even committed the heinous crime of murdering his own father. This was simply too outrageous. Ling Xiao could not help but want to kill Dao Wuxia right now. But his last bit of rationality stopped him. Ling Xiao had more important things to do. He wasn't in a hurry to kill Dao Wuxia. But in Ling Xiao's heart, Dao Wuxia had already been sentenced to death. That old thing deserves to die. But it's a pity that Wu Liang isn't dead yet. I still need to use some means to snatch the Dao race seal back from him. When that time comes, I'll be the true guardian of the Dao race, the true king. Kai, it's your honor to be able to give yourself to me. Dao Wuxia grinned. He raised his hand and suddenly beams of seven-colored divine light rose from his palm, wrapping around Sai's body. Kai had no power to resist at all. Kai was only a 9th revolution half-saint. In front of Dao Wuxia, she was like a child. She could only be manipulated by Dao Wuxia. Dao Wuxia, you'll die a horrible death. I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. Kai shouted angrily. Her eyes were filled with despair. From the looks of it, she couldn't escape from Dao Wuxia's clutches. It was a pity that she couldn't save her sister Kai Dai. Kai closed her eyes in despair. 2 streams of tears fell silently. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.